Okay, it looks like we're live, you guys.
All right.
Yeah, welcome back to the show again, Travis Fauber. So, Travis, we've had him on before talking about his Kickstarter Full Metal Tilt, and today we're bringing him back on because we want to talk about some of the new developments with that Kickstarter because it has actually involved me a fair bit. Because I've been doing a lot of the artwork that's going to be going in the module, and we're going to be looking at it, which is I think is going to be fun. So welcome, Travis. Sure appreciate you.
Oh, and thank you all for having me on again, Ryan
Yeah,
and the kids. So,
yeah, absolutely. So, how's the Kickstarter process been going for you?
well, it's been like now we're 3 days since it's been about a month um, since everything closed down in December 15th. So things have been going good. I've actually got my checklist, been slowly like making my way through things. Some things have not been fully checked out, but we're nearing the 100% mark for them. Right now, I'm still working on the second jousting table for Full Metal Tilt. The first one has been done. I have done a play test for it. I did that for VentureCon 4.5 online, and I was told that's probably the best table I've ever done. So, and the words that were used was, my friend Aaron said, "This table gives me anxiety of making choices against my opponent." So, even though he still
High
won in the
stakes.
tournament, and I mean, it ended up in a tie, and then he won by Dragon Slayer rules at that point in time because it was in melee.
Yeah.
But uh, in the end, like he said, it's a rough table. So the next one I believe will probably be pretty good too. So, but yeah, I'm adding the stuff on there. Yeah, yeah. He definitely was. He made his saves on every one of those, but it did give him, it made him sweat through the whole thing. But yeah.
Well, that's good. So, how many tables do you have for your
There there'll be 6 tables is what I had promised everybody. They may get 8, but we'll see. We'll see about that. I've already got one table. It's already in the night marshal. Howard Young has already added that into there, so he's just waiting for me to get this one done, so that way he can go ahead and have that as well. And then plus right now I'm also doing the Lance, my own art. So I'm doing the Lance art right now for the last couple of the pre-gens and trying to get that added in there too as well. So when the first little beta, that the backers will get, because like I was just telling you in the green room that we're at 90% of the surveys just came in 2 weeks now. I still got 7 stragglers. I will be notifying.
Do your survey,
them.
guys.
Yeah. Some of them I know personally, so I will just phone them.
Yeah.
and then some that I know, and if they don't respond in the next couple of days, I will reach out to them on X or wherever, But that's not going to hold anything up. I should this evening. I'm going to figure out whether it's Dropbox or Google Drive that was the winner, and that's where we'll be putting out the first little pieces as things are getting built up. Yeah, do your survey.
There you go.
Or in any Kickstarter, do your survey. What'd you get?
Yeah. well, that's great. I'm glad to hear that it's coming along. I'm sure you're having a phenomenally fun time doing all of this stuff and getting all this high quality stuff together. So tonight we're talking about the art.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious from you, just before we dive into start looking at some of the art that I've done. What has been the like highs and lows of the art? Like, what's been the most frustrating thing about art, and what's been the most rewarding thing about your experience in working with the artists and getting the art and all that?
Well, the good thing is that I had a lot of wisdom passed on to me by Matt D'Amico. He had had some horror stories that he had told me, and I had told him that before doing the Kickstarter, that a lot of the stuff that I had found, I had just went onto drive through and searched for the art. But my experience has been pretty good because I've been pretty picky with my artists. I've had like I said, most of it has been like through drive through. I've found pieces to work with, but then also between you and Patty, I'll be honest, you all are the only ones that I've actually been able to work with.
Really?
Yeah, because everybody that I have reached out to said either they're too busy, they didn't have the time, but they were very polite. Yeah. It wasn't like anything before. Like the worst experience I ever had was way back before I really got started and everything in 2019, I believe. No, 2021, right around there. I believe is when. I'm trying to think. No, it was 2019. I was right. That there was a cartographer that I actually won a map. Not gonna name names. And I won a map, and I was like, "Oh, cool!" It's like I was working on this thing. Maybe I can, have them do me a map. And then, like I had mentioned, they said, "Oh, well, we're not going to do a city map because we kind of got burnt. That DM's Guild was not letting them do cities, especially if there was a city map already made. And then the town, they didn't have one for Loudwater." And I was like, "Okay." And he was just going off of like something where he just pulled up that somebody did a map. So he assumed that there was already one because he sent it to me, and I was like, "Nah, that's not from TSR or for or WotC at the time." They had an old one that was back in 4th, but it wasn't like the full on, like, because the town actually split between the river and everything, the Delimber River. But anyway, it's in the Forgotten Realms, and I told the guy, I said, "That's fine." I said, "Well, I have a location. Would you be okay with that?" And he said, "Sure." And so he just said, "Just kind of give me some specs for it." So I kind of drew it out. I drew it all out, so that people could actually play on it like a battle map if they wanted to. I didn't necessarily need that, but it was kind of neat so that people could see how the inn was or this lodge. And then, then the guy was like, "Oh, it will be $150. And I was just like, "Oh, okay." I was like, so I didn't say anything like I want it for free or whatnot. I just kind of was like, well, maybe it's like, wait, I just assumed like maybe I was asking for too much. So I was like, okay. So I paid him like, $150 for it and stuff. After you did it and said everything, it was like, "Oh, this is real. You're real great to work with and all this." And then in the end, he was like, "Oh, you were the guy who won a free map." He was like, "Oh, well, I can like do another one for you." He's like, and I was like, "That's okay. I'll just hold on to that." So I've never reached out to this guy or ever said. So I was just kind of like, I was like, well, I kind of feel like I got had, but or maybe he did get mixed up. I don't know. It just, that's probably the worst horror story that I have about it.
Okay,
hey,
well,
Frank, how are you doing? I see he says, "Hey, all."
Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the channel. Sure appreciate you dropping by. Yeah, well, I'm not a professional artist, right? But I
like your art. I'll just tell you this. I like your art.
Would be a professional artist.
Yeah, when I was younger, I was training myself to become a professional artist, but I decided to go a more conventional route. And so I got a boring job. But
didn't we all?
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't have, like, I have some experience in, doing commission artwork and things like that. But I think that my turnaround is pretty fast.
Your turnaround is very fast.
Yeah, because like I don't really like leave you hanging too long. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I give you like updates of like, hey, well, I check in with you first when I have a sketch usually, right? And like, am I close here? Does this look about right? Is this about what you were envisioning? and I get a yay or a nay or whatever,
Right.
and then I can kind of move ahead and finish it up. Also, my style is like super old school. I don't have any fancy software or anything. I use a pencil, and then when the sketch is right, I just take my inking pens and things like that, and I just go over it and erase the pencil lines, and voila, there we're done. So super old school. Yeah, the power of the pencil. Yeah, it's my favorite medium by far. I mean, I don't like kind of like grayscale charcoal type look of things. Like I probably wouldn't be very good at it. It's also very messy to use. But I don't quite like the look of it either. I kind of like the harshness of the ink, the black and white ink. So anyway,
I love your style. Like I said, it like when I first saw it when you were competing in the Dragon design, the Dragon Slayer dungeon design contest. I was like, man, this guy's got some good art. Like I was like sweating. I was like, man, if Greg just goes by art, I was like, I've lost.
Well, but he didn't. Yeah, and you won.
Yeah.
But I didn't place at all. But that's okay. Maybe I'm good at doing art, but not so great at doing.
And I'll be honest. Like I said, I wanted to get that the third crown and everything. If I'm still working on stuff by then, by like April, or trying to get things like especially the proofs and stuff at that time, I'm just going to say, look, I ain't got the time. So
Yeah, so
if I'm there, which I'm going to say that. If it does happen, that I'll help you. I'll help you with whatever that you all need. So
you might get a chance this year.
Sounds good. Yeah. I was also wondering, like,
I'll have to bow out
because that's coming up. That's going to be coming up in a couple months now. It's not too far away.
Well, I hope Greg's doing all right. He's been a little sick right now.
So. Yeah, I've heard he's been a little bit off health wise. So I hope the best that he'll be feeling 100% soon.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but it is coming up soon. If you want me to do some kind of cover for your third winning dungeon, we could talk about that. But yeah, I'll certainly do a cover for my own. I was kind of thinking. Yeah. For mine, I was thinking maybe for these I want to try and make like Halloween one-shots.
Okay.
So like each year I might do like a different spooky thing, different spooky monster or whatever, and then I'll just like have a whole series of like Halloween one-shots that people could run.
And that's a good concept because everybody's always looking for something like that, especially around Halloween. So
yeah,
that's good. Especially for
nice and short. Well, we got Gosh, we got a couple comments. See,
no,
playing one of Greg's at North Texas. Me too. Back in 2023, I think it was.
Yeah, I see where Chubby's asking if I'll be at North Texas. No, my daughter's in high school and got swim and show choir right now, and then I've also got our honeymoon that we've been putting off for like 2 years. So finally we get to go to Ireland. This is, if I do make it to something, I'm really trying to push for either Origins or Central New York. That's where I'm trying to make it. And if I could swing it, if Jeff Buffington does get his convention that he wants down in Eastern Tennessee that, he's been wanting me to come to, I know that's like further on in the year that may be a possibility too. But if he can make that a reality right now, if not, I know he's working on it. And if it's not a reality now, it'll be a reality next year, so.
Yeah.
I would love to go.
Yeah, for sure. Cause Texas is a great place. And, I for sure want to go to Central New York Con. I hope we can make it out there. Hopefully we can put it.
You should take me this time.
Yeah, I want to, sweet.
They
Yeah, I
ditched
think
me
that'd
all
be
the
great.
time.
We would meet, like if Travis went, we'd meet Travis in person, and we'd meet Double D from Diversity and Dragons, likely, and maybe some of the other guys on the show, and just like there'd be a lot of people that I rub shoulders with online that would go there, and
Right.
I think it would just be great. And New York is a beautiful state.
Yeah, and that's the reason why like I was pushing for that. But Origins, it's so close to me that like even when it runs and we come back from like Ireland and everything, that if my wife didn't get a chance to go, that I might just run up and for a couple days there. So
Nice. Does your wife play?
she has played, but it's not. She loves making characters. She loves making characters though. So sometimes I do ask her about if I'm doing pre-gens or torchbearers or retainers or NPCs of any type of caliber. Sometimes I ask her about it. So
well, we're gonna look at some NPCs that you guys have created. Maybe she had a hand in some of those.
Yeah, Frank. I see Frank wants a shot too. Oh, you got.
Yeah. Now, Frank, this is the Frank that did the heraldry art, right?
Correct. That's Frank Avila.
Let's talk about Frank's heraldry art for just a minute before we move on.
Sure. Yeah, Frank does a great job. At the time I was doing like most of my heraldry art myself. I do have some pieces that not necessarily will be in the Full Metal Tilt that I think of, other than the lances, that I still did like a freehand. But Frank had reached out to me because he really enjoyed playtesting Full Metal Tilt before the Kickstarter, and he had mentioned that that's what he did, and then I had reached back out to him and said, hey, I kind of need some of this style of art. Could you do these pieces for me? And I need them before Matt D'Amico goes down to North Texas, because he offered to like run it because he wanted to run it there. And so I sent him over with that packet, which now is part of the the Full Metal Tilt pre-gens that are in there with their heraldry and everything. So, which was pretty nice. Did you want to see some of it? Is that what you also want me like pull that up?
Yeah, if you want, pull it up and let's give Frank his due for a little bit.
Yeah. I'm just going to go straight to the art itself, and then I'll pull up the document here. So give me 1 second. Go straight to my art section. Actually, it's actually down here too. Heraldry. Here we go. All right. Actually, he also did some private pieces as well for my local game too as well. Well, I mean, it's online, but I mean, my regular game that I have on Friday. Share screen. There we go. And I'll just do entire screen so that way we can bounce between things.
There we go.
All right, so here is Full Metal Tilt pre-gens. Here is one that he did for the Cyclops.
Oh yeah, the one eye. That's cool.
That is cool.
And then we've got, I believe this is one of the elf characters he did this for.
I love that color pattern.
That's just what I was gonna say.
Really nice.
Those are like my favorite colors.
And then the champion that every time I like had people run the pre-gens 2 times has been Dame Sibylla Sation.
Oh, that looks good. I like that.
Love it.
That would look nice on a shield.
Yeah, because she won down in North Texas, and then also won. When Patty, his brother, and I, ran a little jousting tournament, even though they rolled up to their own characters, and I rolled up one just to make one with them, and they just ended up. Now I think this is the elf character. I think the other one was the half elf, because I remember this one had the Irma.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
that's cool. You know, these would all look so good on shields and tunics for knight. You know,
Mhm.
and I think there's, speaking from the artist perspective, I don't think there's enough of that in RPG art. You know, where it kind of shows classic medieval.
Used to be.
Yeah,
It used to be at the beginning.
Yeah. And then we kind of got away from it.
Mm-hmm.
But
let's see here. Here's one that he did for one of my friend's characters. This is Turk the Black Bastard's emblem. He's a half orc. So
cool. Wait, make it bigger. I want to see it.
Okay, cool. You got it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It looks so cool.
Yeah, Frank did a great job on this one. And that same guy also has a paladin whose name is Anders Brighthand, who was actually the champion for the last joust that I did. Pop up here.
Cool.
I love it.
Thanos.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, he follows like the sun god and everything, and he wanted something. And what's is funny too is because if you know anything about Baramaze, that there is an item that is a golden gauntlet that is to Solus, or in my game I call the gods. What is it? I can't even remember his name right now. But anyway, but it's my version of the sun god that they have. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
That's an interesting tie-in.
Mm-hmm. Let's make sure I clear those out. But yeah, that's the art that he did, and then here my own art that I've done. This is how I started out. Just if we're talking about just art in general, I do the same as like you. It's like I drew it out and then I inked it.
Yep.
Oh, the image was
tried and true.
Oh, once I find my image here we go.
Oh, that looks great.
It looks so cool.
Rampant.
Yeah.
House Nebelschultz. Yeah, I have them instead of the Iron Guard running the Baramaze area. That's the house there. So, but I'll stop. Sharing.
Well, do you have the Order of the Red Owl?
Yeah.
I like the color that you used in that, by the way, Travis. I thought the light blue on the white, that looked nice.
Yeah, I like that too. I actually there's another one I use where it's like a darker blue. I'll show that. Yeah, I do have your stuff here. Which by the way, I do need to get you those cards I made you, Frank. So I still have them. I just haven't like laminated them and everything, but I'll get them to you.
Oh, that looks awesome. Can you make it a little bigger?
Sure can.
Oh, that looks really good.
Again, this right here. This is all Frank. So
yeah, that's great.
Now that's his own home group. That's his little. So I just told him I'd personally like do a set of cards, like the Full Metal Tilt cards, like personal for him. And I believe this one here, it's the City of Craneport. Is also for his like campaign setting.
Yep.
Ooh.
Oh, that looks really good. It's got a splash of white in there. That's pretty cool. Nice colors.
Oh. Yeah, here's the other one. I know that you've seen this one before. This is the other one I did.
Yeah, the fish. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Ermine
cool.
Trout. Yeah. Greg had a knight that's in Dwara Deep, and his name is Ermine Mantle. And I was like, I won't change this to Ermine Trout. I just kind of wanted to do it. So and I remember showing him this, and he goes, "Man," he was like, "Nobody would want to eat a fuzzy trout." And I was like, "Exactly." So, all right,
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm a very visual person. Like I love. I pay very particular attention to the way that people draw things and do things like that, and it always I'm easily fascinated by that type of thing. Like, so Frank's work, it's beautiful. I love it.
Oh yeah,
He's very talented, and I love all the styles and the different arrangements that he's done, and that's very fun. I love that. Are you guys? Should we jump into some of my artwork?
oh yeah.
All right, let me see if I
here,
can
right? So,
present. Let's see. Share screen. And I'm going to share entire screen right here.
I wonder if I can.
Okay, so we'll do monsters first, I guess. I'm going to. Ooh, that's a little
sounds
too
great.
big. All right.
Yeah, we still got some more to do on that.
More monsters coming down the pipe, huh?
yeah, in due time, because I want to get through the illustration section that we're doing right now, and then after that, then we can get into the monsters for Full Metal Tilt. So,
well, I'm excited about that, Travis. I'm looking forward to it because, like, I see all these artists like fantastic work in monster manuals, and I want to do that too.
Well, I will tell you this: that I showed off on Patty's show back when you had given me the Tasselworm art, and I had entered that into his contest of like, if we pick the monster, I'll draw it kind of thing. I sent him that. He said, I'm just going to tell you right now, Ryan did you justice. He was like, I would not have been able to do you justice on that. He's laughing. He said, that looks great.
Aw. That's really nice. Daddy's talented too, man.
Oh yeah, I love his art. I love his art too. Yeah. But he was like, I'm giving him kudos on this.
Oh, that's really nice of him. That's awesome. So tell us about the Enfield here.
Okay, I didn't know that I could see it or not.
Oh, can you? Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I didn't add it to the stage. There we go. That's my mistake. All right.
Yeah. So I came across, when I was looking for different creatures to add, particularly for Full Metal Tilt, when we were talking about both good and bad for knights to go against or even encounter. But the Enfield, let me pull up my notes here. It is a benevolent creature. And the way that I wrote it in with using because it's a mythical heraldry creature that I usually don't see, and I thought, oh, this would be great, and I definitely wanted to use it when I was doing my research. Just give me 1 second here. I won't go straight to.
Yeah, I had never heard of them before, so
I hadn't either until I started doing the research, and then I came across it. And I was like, man, this is wild. I like this. So I was like, this is great. A great idea.
So I think the brief you gave me for the Enfield was they have like a fox. They're basically like a fox, but then they have eagle claws in the forepart, and then the wolf hind.
Right.
Yeah, and then some of them are winged.
It looks so cool.
So yeah, this is my second attempt on the Enfield. I wanted it to, I wanted it to be like recognizably a fox, and I at first I started one. You know how like when you're doing art, sometimes like you start doing it a certain way, and then you're just not feeling it. And that means you got to start over. And that's how artists are sometimes. They're like, yeah, I sketched this out, but I'm not feeling it. I'm not, it's not catching my fancy or whatever. Right. Like, it's just, this isn't it for me. And then, so you kind of have to recalibrate and start over and then really kind of get your vision out there. And so this was the second attempt. The first one was like these Enfields, in front of a barrow, and that was the case there. I just wasn't feeling it. I had to switch it up. So
yeah. I finally got my notes here, but yeah, and the barrow like made sense. Oh gosh, I'm getting some feedback here.
Yeah, I wonder. I think we're both getting feedback. I wonder what. Let's see.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yep.
test.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So that when I researched it and everything, I found that they're the whole concept of them. It's an Irish concept, for the creature, and that they guard it like the kings of like Ireland and the nobility and whatnot, like their graves. And so I used that and like transferred it into that they were guardians of like the Sealy court, and for Fae and whatnot. And that's where the whole concept, and that's why you first like did that with like about the barrows and everything. Yep.
I put a little thing in there. What's going on, Sonny?
We're frozen.
Oh, you guys are frozen. Okay, so leave the meeting and then come back in. Okay, try that out. Okay.
I was about to say, because the feedback is definitely coming from. I think it's from their end because I can hear some movement and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I apologize for that.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. It happens, man. It's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that they were guardians of the heroes and the nobility and everything of in Ireland, and so that's why you find them a lot on the heraldry of some Irish, especially like the royalty, the different kings and everything.
That's good. That's cool. Like I had no idea about that. So that's really cool.
I didn't either. I just like I was looking for like, I looked at it this way when I wanted to have like, creatures and monsters that, knights could, go against and whatnot. The concept came to me. It's like, well, of course I want the questing beast. I was going to put it in there.
Yeah.
I don't have that in Dragon Slayer, but we have dragons, but I'm going to have like a little section on that. Not necessarily like have an actual, like worried about like doing stat blocks for dragons, but just something to where you can like tweak your dragons a little bit, to make some things a little different. But I was going across like other creatures that, in the whole myth and everything, like the Afank and, your fairy knight, your green knight, that type of thing. And that's where we get some of these ideas that came out of this. So, which got me to the infield and other things. So,
Abby and Josh, I'm gonna get you guys. Can you mute yourselves unless you make a comment that might help with the sound?
Is there still feedback coming through?
Well, I don't know. I just want to minimize issues like that. But unmute yourself when you want to make a comment. Absolutely, right. And then another thing. So I put of course, a skeleton in here, and every artist knows that when you have a creature that's big or small, the best way to bring that across to the viewer is you put something in the picture for scale, right? So that's why I put in this skeleton corpse, right? It was just to kind of give a bit of an idea about the size of what we're talking about here with an Enfield. So I was trying to capture that a little bit.
Right.
They're like huge. Josh said, imagine the snuggles with those things.
Oh yeah. It reminds me of those have you seen those like beds where like people can sleep in like an alligator's mouth and like all these different things.
Oh.
And that's you're right. It'd be like, like sleeping with a giant Pokemon. So
yeah. That's awesome. All right, well, let's move on. There's plenty actually. So I'm just gonna let's see. All right, so this is
the Noxir.
The Noxir, yes. So of course, this is like a category of undead, but they have some peculiarities. Do you want to explain that a little bit?
Yeah. So the Noxir is a Deutsch myth. It's slightly related to a vampire. They're known as the Shroud Eater. And so when I was looking at this, I was coming across like different myths. And this is like one that I had written down. I was like, oh, this would be a great one to have. Not necessarily for this, but just in general. But then I was like, oh, no, this would be a good one. But the Noxzera, or, the Shroud Eater, but they're also known as a Wiederganger, which is undead in Deutsch, and which means like one who walks again.
Oh, wow.
The Noxzera, when they would bury them, of course, they would have their burial shroud or whatnot. And what would happen is that usually they'd say it'd be like a plague or suicide or a curse or dark magic, and where they would be like eating the shroud. And then by doing that, they would kind of like project themselves as a spirit, or just mentally start driving their family, in this case, like, the original myth, like nuts, and like haunting them and draining them. So the concept that I did with this is that a Noxzera, since it's kind of related to like a vampire in a sense, with the mythos out that way in Germany and also in Austria and Eastern Europe, that the Noxzera has both a physical and an incorporeal form. So why it is in its tomb, the physical form is there, but it will attack or go and drain and everything in its incorporeal form. Unless it knows that it is being threatened, then it would try to retreat, because once the physical form is destroyed, then it is totally gone. So it can be, fought in two different ways, but usually it, like it says, it projects itself as a spirit, and especially as the most fun undead that any dragon slayer or basic expert type of rules is the draining type.
Oh yeah, everyone loves a level drain, right?
Right, exactly. It's exactly what they do. So, but yeah. It says here, once per night, the Noxzera can cause the local church bells to ring on their own accord. Everyone who hears the bells must save against spells or be marked as the creature's next victim. And then, of course, then it would learn, where its victim's location is. And then its preferred method of attack is an incorporeal form, allowing it to make range attacks up to 60 feet while it is draining. Yep.
A level drain from 60 feet?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay, so these guys are no joke then. This is a scary creature. I do remember you said something about them having like they make a chewing noise because they're the
shroud. The shroud. Yep.
And a lot of iterations of D&D and early D&D was that undead were silent, totally silent. So do you view that as like a bit of a departure from normal undead protocol?
Right. Well, you think about it, like, they, undead are silent, as you were talking about the, they were referring to like skeletons and zombies and whatnot. But I kind of look at that as kind of like a warning to the PCs, like ahead of time, like it's coming, kind of thing. Kind of like the whole zombie, like, oh, you hear like like a footstep and a drag and a footstep and a drag, that kind of thing. Kind of like I just did this live play, which we're still trying to finish up. Hope Greg recovers, but there was a white that kind of did that, but it was because his leg was messed up, not necessarily that he was a zombie. But hold on, I was going to recant about the whole level drain here. So, like I said, it does make a range attack up to 60 feet, and if it attacks in physical form, then so that is it is a distance. I'm sorry, I just meant like when it's in its physical form, then it has to be by touch when it'll do the drain.
Okay.
So yeah, you're right. It is a ranged level drain. So
that's scary.
Yeah, I did that because of the fact that that's part of the mythos of it, is that you would hear it. So it's kind of like it would build tension, because if you already knew it was a level drainer, You know what I mean? Or if you didn't, and it actually happens, and then you're like, okay, we got to get out of here. And then, you run. And then the next time it comes hunting somebody down, then you're like, hear that sound and be like, oh man, like you're just sweating already. It's like, oh gosh, now we're going to have to fight this thing. Especially since it has an incorporeal form. And then once that is destroyed, it will reform as long as the body hasn't been, destroyed.
Yeah, no, that adds a great element of tension, especially with something as dangerous as that.
Right. And that's just using just the myth of this creature from German mythology, and Eastern European, because it's also around, like I think it's like Switzerland, Austria, and Germany that you find the Noxera myth.
Awesome, that's really cool. So we got some more monsters.
Okay.
The red cap for you.
I love the red caps. Yeah.
So, any comments about the red cap? So with this one, I'll just set it up a little bit. This one, originally I sketched him out, and I thought, you know what, I want something in there for scale, and to add some more just like stuff in the picture, right? So just it's not too plain.
Right.
And so I put a little treasure chest in there with some coins next to them, so you kind of get an idea of like the size of this thing, right? Another, that's that old trick again. But go ahead, Travis. I think you might have.
Oh, no. You're doing fun. Yeah, the red cap, I mean, that was one of the things that, especially in the adventure, the Tomb of the Unbroken King, that there is an encounter with some red caps, which will show that because there's an illustration section, which wasn't something that was originally promised, but since we were talking, and one of the things that I'm adding is a 5 mile hex in Greg's term. I mean, in my game I run a 6 mile hex, but the way that I use the hexes and everything, it can equate to either or, doesn't matter, based off of just whatever math that you're using. And in that section where the town is, you kind of like have a little area to play before you can go into the Everwinter Forest, and then go to what's called the Standing Stone of Necessity, rest before you go into where the Mounds of the Fairy Kings are, and actually go to the Barrow of the Unbroken King for that quest. But there is kind of like an area to where you can do some other adventures before you even go there, which is what where the red caps kind of come in, because there is a part where there is red caps that's near a fairy circle, which we'll see a little bit later on here.
Yep.
But I love red caps. Just the concept about them, and I also like the idea that you can use a red cap as like a template, that they don't necessarily be like just the little gnomish red caps that we know, that you could actually apply that to other creatures as long as they have the red cap and the blood keeping them alive and whatnot. So
so with this one, like I was thinking, like I wanted the red caps to look just garden gnomey, and like it almost to like a silly degree, but that's hence like the big shoes and everything. But I wanted it done in like a way that was like kind of grotesque too, like kind of creepy. And so I'm hoping that I kind of hit that mark, or like, that they look a little bit menacing.
Well, he does look menacing, especially with the flame burged, dagger that he's got there, a short sword. And I do like the fact that you did it this way, particularly when we get into the subject of who's in charge of them, which makes sense. It's like, oh, these are our guard gnomes in a sense. That's like protecting this little circle. So
yeah, no, that's good. So yeah, we'll see that one. We'll see the circle in a little bit, probably closer to the end. So this is one of my favorites that I did. Art wise for you so far. This is the Rust Knight.
Yep.
So what can you tell us about the Rust Knight, and what do you find interesting about the picture? I guess.
Oh, well, I mean, I really like that you have, you have the knight and everything where you can tell that there's corrosion on the armor as he's like, coming at you, and with the burning intent in his eyes. That's part of my favorite parts of this artwork. But the Rust Knight, came from an idea when I was researching things, or particularly around like the Red Knight, which is like, it's like a Knight of Rage and everything, and he's also in the Arthurian mythos.
Okay.
Going to the to get the Grail, with Percival and whatnot. But in that case, I had was thinking about a few things, and then I was like, this like I was thinking red, what I mean? So it's where like the whole Rust idea came across. I was like, has anybody did anything with like like a Rust related, like undead or anything of that nature? And so I hadn't found anything, just in a cursory glance. So I was just like, or search, and then I was like, okay, I was like, I think I got a good idea for something that's unique and not not something that everybody has seen before. But it has all the good elements of undead, as well as the elements of a Rust monster.
Yep.
Since,
yeah.
which is the bane of any type of fighter, knight, or paladin, sitting there, or any dwarf would be like, no. But
yeah, this is another one, just kind of like the Noxir. This one is like, this is one that you don't want to meet.
Right. Well, and you also kind of thought, I was like, well, this fits real well with the Dragon Slayer theme. It's like not that we want to kill everybody, but at least want you to be like, this is something I don't want to fight, and I need to fight it smart and do something to keep it away from me. At least beat it with clubs or whatever, magic clubs, I guess. If you're going to do it that way. So
now with this one, I wanted to, like, number one, like, I knew I needed to make the armor look rusty, so that was the first challenge. And I found that, like, if I just do lots more irregular lines on the armor in places you wouldn't expect, it makes it look tarnished. So just kind of a little bit of playing around, and I was able to kind of get a pretty good effect from that. Another thing that I wanted to do, I was envisioning this like shambling monster, kind of like making its way kind of haphazardly through the tunnel, or the dungeon. And so what I did was I kind of gave a slight turn to the foot here in the back, just enough to, like, make it look a little bit kinked, just kind of unnatural, just to kind of give that sense of this thing is undead, and it's kind of hobbling around like a undead creature. And then of course people probably noticed that the the sword is in a poor state, and because usually I wouldn't be doing squiggly lines quite like this through the sword. If it was like, it would have, if it were going to have like some metal coloring in it with like basically like black streaks, they would be very straight and going in predictable directions off of the metal. So this kind of gives the effect of like a tarnished blade, plus all the gouges that are out of it as well.
I will tell you this too, Ryan. I do like your shadow work. That you do a great job with shadows.
So. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I try. Like it's important for an artist to understand where the light source is in their picture.
Right.
That's one of the fundamentals of it. So you have to like come to terms with, okay, where's the light source? And then that's going to guide where your shadows are going. And of course, in these black and white inky pieces, you really, the eye is rewarded by the high contrast of the light and the dark. So if you can make a very interesting scene that it's like, a a lot of black or a lot of white that are shown in ways that are interesting together, it's going to be, you know, it's usually going to be a much better presentation. So, and I feel like I could do a better job with, you know, doing even more black and stuff in the pictures, but you know, I'm still learning how to draw. So,
well, you know, and this is like my wife kind of told me, is like, you know, when she would be like, well, who's messaging again? I know it was like you, because you're like, hey, I got this done, you know, and you're excited, and you know, and I was like, okay, well, I just need to. He's like, he wants to know what the next piece is that we're doing. So I was like, I gave you the stuff and everything, and she's like, you know, he really is, you know, each piece. She even comments, she's like, he's getting better and better and better and better. And he's like, you're keeping him, you know, fed with, you know, getting him, you know, to that point. And I was like, well, I'm glad to be able to help too.
Yeah. Well, no, that's I'm glad that you noticed that, because like to be honest, like I haven't done much drawing for at least a decade, you know, just kind of like just life got busy and like, you know, other things, and like I just kind of didn't make it any kind of priority. It wasn't really my world anymore. And so, but then when this opportunity came up, I was like, hey, yeah, you know, I can draw, you know, so like I just kind of got back into it. Goodness knows how much better I would be if I had just continued it as like a very regular hobby from when I was still a young man till
right,
you know, now. But that's okay. I'm you know, back into it.
Don't worry about it, because I was going to say that, like I said, you're constantly improving, and like, and I mean, it shows, like it shows, you know. And it's kind of like how like I was, you know, just talking about when I made that other table, and then, you know, here's my player that we've been good friends since high school and stuff, and been playing games, and he's, you know, been a dungeon master, you know, for games for me, and so forth and so on. And then, you know, hear him go say, yeah, this table gives me anxiety. Like, is this really, you know? And I was like, okay, that's a high compliment. You know, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
You know, just it's that, you know.
Yeah, that's right, because it's having the effect that you're looking for, and that's really kind of that's what you want. Like, as an artist, I'm always, or an illustrator, however you want to term it.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm always like I'm competing against the vision in my mind versus what I can actually get out on paper. And I always lose to the vision in my mind. Like I'm never able to quite reproduce to the majesty of whatever I had going on up here, but I can approximate it on paper, you know, and I think the better you get as an artist, the smaller the gap is between those things, really. All right, well, let's this is a cool one. I just like the way it looks. I really was happy with the way this one turned out. I'm gonna move on to, all right, so this is the Slender Knight.
Yeah.
Comments on this one, Travis?
Yeah, so the Slender Knight, my concept for it is, of course, I've never played like Elden Ring or any of those games, but I had come across like a piece of art, which I sent to you, that I was like, man, I was like, this thing is just creepy as all get out. And it was one of the, you know, concepts that I had, you know, and the way I kind of looked at it is, what if, you know, a Slender Man was a knight, was the way that I looked at it when I first saw that art piece. Because that's what I kept thinking. I was like, because this is a very slender looking, you know, creature, you know, abnormally. So, and then that's the way, like I wrote it, that the Slender Knight is a unseelie creature that, you know, that is one of their guardians that they have, that they can send out, or knights in this case, you know, to
makes for a kind of a bit of a scary thing out there, you know what I mean? Because like the concept of Slender Man is pretty frightening. I think that's why it really caught on the way it did. But then, like, you know, couple that with like it's armored and it has a giant sword, and you know, you're in big trouble, you know.
Yeah, and well, like the one that I had sent you, where it had like a halberd, you know, that there's like a giant sized halberd. So even then with reach, that would just be, you know, ridiculous too.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's right.
And here's one of the things is I did take the whole idea that the Slender Man, or like, as you know, even in Minecraft, the Enderman, you know, that that they would actually like teleport. So this thing actually has like a blink capability, and the fact that it's very hard to see them in a forested area, which is usually where you may encounter one, because the fact that they're just as tall and slender as the trees, that they kind of blend in. So they also have that going for them.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Which, you know, the whole sorry, I was going to get this out real quick.
Yep.
That the whole idea of like the night, you know, questing and going into the woods, and that, you know, the woods are, you know, most likely, you know, you go too far, you end up in, you know, Elfland and whatnot, you know, into Fae. So or Alfheim. So
yeah. And you know, talking about the night, like this is kind of what I was talking about before when we were showing Frank's stuff. And I was saying, like, not enough people you know, really kind of go with the medieval style for, you know, warriors and things like that. And I like to lean into that a little bit more. And so that's why I kind of, you know, penciled this guy. It looks like he could have come off of a tapestry, you know, a medieval tapestry, right?
Yep.
And you know, but you can sense the fear too. Like, you know, that he is you know, he's completely horrified, no matter, even with all his armor, his sword, he's you know, he's absolutely subdued, just in fright because of this this creature that he's being lorded over by.
Frank is a fan.
Oh yeah, thanks, Frank. I sure appreciate that. Yeah, because I wanted to kind of bring in some of that element that you had talked about with, like, you know, an adventurer kind of like maybe ran into something more than he bargained for,
right?
You know, and that's kind of what I was hoping to do with this, and also, like, there's a bit of a sense of decay as well. If you take a look at the chainmail skirt here, it's ragged, right? And so I did that because I wanted to kind of convey that this thing is, you know, it's not clean, you know, it's, and I think that kind of brings in a sense of spookiness.
Yeah,
You know?
This is one of my favorite ones that I've seen so far, because I watched my dad draw it and it was so cool. Because was it this one yeah, it was this one. He was trying a new technique on shading the leaves, and it just turned out so good. And I loved all the detail, not only in the people themselves, but in the trees and the leaves and the grass.
Does it have a special ability where it can make two girls develop schizophrenia, lead you into the woods and stab you like 47 times?
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about, but no.
oh, I'm surprised that's not in the manual, the monster manual.
yeah.
But yeah, like, going back to what Abigail was saying, yeah, I'm constantly trying new techniques and things like that. Because like, even with like work that is already published, or already done within your own publication here, like, you have an artist, and his name is William McAusland.
Yeah.
And he did the piece right here in your table of contents. And you know, I look at this and I'm like,
do you want me to pop that up here real quick so I can show that piece?
Yeah, sure, you can.
Okay, I just because you're going to talk about it, so I was like, let me just pop up in another window here, and I'll go straight to my art folder, and I can pull that right up here for you.
while you're doing that, I I'll just show you some, like, because I buy things just for research purposes as far as art goes. I was at like our used bookstore that we always love to go to, and I found this little it's like a graphic novel printed. I'm not sure when. It's Dark Horse.
Right.
Originally printed, I'm not sure. I think in the 50s or 60s, but it rhymes with lust. I don't know what the story is. It's some kind of crime graphic novel. I don't really care what the story is, actually. I just opened it up and I was just blown away at the artist's techniques, you know? So I wanted to learn from this guy because, like, there's things when you look and see how he's folding, you know, doing folds with clothing and stuff like that on different fabric types and things like that. How he's, you know, making faces on the ladies, their eyes and things like that, little details that I can mimic and copy. And you know, and this guy, very good artist, you know, and like I take a look at that and I'm like, he's better than me, and I can learn from that. So I bought it just on the strength of the art and just to learn techniques. But go ahead and put William's.
Yeah, I got it there. I got it there for you. What I was going to say is I do much the same, Ryan, with people's work, you know, like as in like you know, adventures and just concept or just people's design. I will buy their stuff, even though it might not be something that I'll necessarily run. This is like I kind of like, you know, I like to know, you know, how somebody like writes, and is this something that, you know, their style, is it something that I want to kind of like add something similar, you know, to my own style, you know, and make it more, you know, what I've already been working on. So, but yeah, I'm with you. I pick up stuff too.
Yeah.
Just to learn.
So with William's piece here, I like it. Like it's immediately eye-catching, you know, and I love the adventures and stuff like that. You got the standing stones. Some of the things, the details that I love about this piece is subtly the clouds in the background. I love the technique that he used for those wispy clouds. I'm gonna probably borrow that, you know, because it looks really good. You know, I just love the way that he did that. And then if you look in close at the grass, you know, the way that he did the grass, it looks very well done, you know. I just love the way that he was able to do that, and I feel like I have things I could learn from William here, and I love the shading on the rocks. It just all comes together so well. He just did a great job. So there's a lot of techniques that I would like to pull out from his work that I could incorporate into what I do. So I do that all the time, and I think artists are always doing that. Illustrators, they're always looking at how other people do things successfully, and then they kind of incorporate that and use those techniques themselves. So.
Yeah. And you know, the interesting thing is like, I was already doing some of this, like in my own, like looking at other people's work and being like, okay, you know, like I'm learning and I kind of like this style or whatever. But the first time, like it really like clicked to me, like what I really was doing. Yeah, I think it was, I think it's MT Black. He's another author that has a lot of stuff on the DMs Guild and also on Drive Through. He did like a little like how I you know, kind of got started and everything, and he kind of like broke it down when he was thinking about it. And one of the things was he said that he was trying to make an adventure. It was kind of like Keep on the Borderlands, and this is how like he started from it and everything. And he wrote down, he was like, if you imitate somebody's work, at one point in time, it's going to become your own because you're going to keep adding to it and everything, and it's going to evolve. It's not just going to be much like this person's work. And like he talked about, like how, you know, that's kind of like how you kind of find your own way. And and then I just recently, like my wife got me for Christmas a series of books that was also suggested to me when I took this writing course. That was also it's called the storytelling collective. I forget what it's called now. It actually changed its name, but it was a lady who had did very well on the DMs Guild, and she was offering these courses, and it was kind of like a one-page adventure kind of thing, and so like I'd taken it like at least 3 times over, just kind of like practicing, like doing the course. And one of the books that it had, there's one, it's called Steal Like an Artist. And then there's another one, it's called Just Keep Going. And then I forget what the last one is called. But the first one, Steal Like an Artist, that's what it talked about. It said like, do like a board of like your ideal like writers, or if it's like art, who are your ideal arts and stuff, and who did they look into, and like it says create your own like little tree and like where you fit in that and everything, and I was like, it, all that is, I mean, that's basically what you're doing, is that even though I'm kind of doing that, I'm doing this already, it was just kind of like neat to kind of refresh about like just concepts of like, well, when I think about what going to be my appendix in, just like you probably like with you and your art and your own writing, what's your appendix in of like, who are you pulling from?
Yeah.
It kind of gives you an idea of like, you start writing that down. These are my inspirations. These are the people that, that I enjoyed. And thus, I'm part of them, as well as there is, my own in that work that I do. So.
Yeah, actually, that's interesting, because like some of my big I guess inspirations have been like when I was a kid, I read lots of Spider-Man comic books. Mark Bagley was an artist that I really enjoyed, so he was a big influence for me at the time. But a little bit later, when I got more serious into figure drawing, is actually Bern Hogarth, who took the mantle of drawing the Tarzan comic books in the weekly Sunday paper from Hal Foster. And, he has these like dynamic figure drawing books and stuff like that. And just hours of like imitating what he did for like figure drawing and stuff like that. It really kind of like turbocharged my my talent. So I owe a lot to Bern Hogarth, and of course I also take some inspiration from Hal Foster and Alex Raymond, who did what's his name? On Planet Mongo. Yeah, what's his name? We went to space.
Oh, are you returning to Flash Gordon?
Flash Gordon, yeah, Flash Gordon, yeah. Okay. Alex Raymond drew Flash Gordon.
When you said Mongo, I was like, I know this. Why do I know this?
Yeah.
I was like,
so yeah. Hal Foster and Alex Raymond were two, like they were kind of contemporaneous with each other. Both of them were just absolute illustration masters, and Alex Raymond was notable for just he could just make figures so easily, and beautiful women just so easily, and Hal Foster was like a master with the doing the detailed backgrounds and stuff like that. But they were both really, really, really good. But anyway, let's keep going.
One other comment I was going to say about this. I too love the trees. I love the trees in this. That's one of my favorite parts. It's the trees in this.
Well, that's good. Yeah, because like I didn't want the background in this to just be throwaway. I wanted it to be, like kind of contribute to the overall like feel of the situation, and the circumstances involved, and just the creepiness and the unknown and everything. So yeah, that's what I was going for.
Yeah, you did a great job on this one. I love it.
Awesome. All right, so this is the
yes,
the Tatzelworm, right?
Yeah,
so
the Tatzelworm. Yep. Yeah, this is one of my favorites. This is the one, like I said, that Patty gave you props on. So the Tatzelworm, if anybody knows, hold on, I'm trying to pull it up here, like my little notes here. That it is kind of like a crypto It is like from from the past. It's not necessarily like in the 1900s. It even goes back to the 18, where they're talking about it's particularly around Bavaria and Switzerland and Austria, that there would be these half cat, half well, it's not necessarily half. It's more like a lizard-like worm with like a cat face. An actual tatzelworm means like short paws, like short paw is what that actually means, or short paw worm or something. I can't remember the actual translation, but I know that means like short paws. But what I did with this is that my wife would always say to the cats that when they would like stretch all the way out, especially my black cat, Happy,
Yeah.
that he stretch all the way out, to be like that he's a long cat. And and then also from her, I got this inspiration before this, is that that when she would take the collars off the cats to brush them and everything, she would refer to them as as that you're now free cats and everything. And so anyway, so that's where I kind of like combined the idea of the tatzelworm and had the grimalkin, or the grimalkin, which is like from Scottish myth. And what it is that they are the fairy cats. And there's a great little story that's like done on it, where like there's these two commoners, and they're like in their house, and they've got their cat, and his name's like I want to say like Tom or something like that. And then there's the old man says that he happened to see like these cats like carrying like a coffin, and there was like 6 of them, like they were like these cats like carrying this coffin away, and one like happens to see the old man and says, "Tell Tom it's now his time." And then he said that he comes in and tells the story to his wife, and all of a sudden his cat like leaves and everything, because he's actually the next king of the cats, so of these grimalkins. And it's a pretty neat little story. But anyway, so the grimalkins, as I call them, is they're like actual like talking or elven or fey cats, and they have a story that there is these cats that these grimalkins that had betrayed their king, and they were cursed, and they became the long cats. So I had like this joke, and I haven't ever put it into my campaign setting yet, but also I kind of wanted to use it here because I thought they would be very interesting creatures for a knight to go against, particularly because what you're looking at here is just a wormling. This is not. Yeah, this is baby. Yeah, it's a baby, and that the long cats are like in the mountains and everything, and just like in the cryptid of the tasselworm. And so you have this 6 to 4-legged, long worm-like cat that can be up to giant or huge, so almost the dragon size and everything. And that they are pretty powerful. Plus, they also have like the poison and the poisonous cloud, which also comes all from the cryptid idea of them.
Oh wow. It's like Superman. They had to keep stacking on abilities and stuff like that.
But yeah, I love this piece. Like the fear in his, like every time I see this, I just think of like Dragon Slayer and Dirk, the knight, that this is like him about ready to become the skeleton and like fall away. Like he's done for.
Yeah. Cause like I wanted to kind of, again, like lean into like the medieval look, with like the hood of the chainmail and stuff like that. And, just kind of make it familiar that way. And, and I wanted to incorporate, because it's got the 6 legs, and I wanted it to show. I wanted to show how menacing and useful those legs would be,
right?
In a situation like this. So, you can see that he's getting grappled on by 3 different legs at a time, and then he's going to get swiped at with at least 2 more, in the next moment, and you can just you wouldn't want to be this guy. You can sense the the just the danger, and part of the thing that I quite like about this myself is like you can see he's entangled in around the legs. So like his legs are absolutely not in a fighting stance. He's he's all tied up, and he's not going to be able to move the way he wants to, and so he's already like pinned down, and it just kind of shows the danger, like from various angles of this creature. It's going to wrap me up. It's going to cut me with razor claws, and from 6 different arms, and or might bite my neck, or that kind of thing. So, what do you think, Josh? Go ahead, Travis.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Josh.
World's deadliest hug.
Yeah, I was just going to say that it's not just 2 pairs of murder mittens. That's 4 pairs of murder mittens. Right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so that guy's not having a good day.
No.
And like I sent this one to Greg. He liked it. Like this was. I send him stuff once in a while, and mostly it's just like a thumbs up, very, he doesn't say much, but with this one, he sent me a bravo, cause I think because it has the elements of like an old school, kind of feel, because the guy is in clear present danger,
Oh yeah.
So
you can see it. For sure. Yeah, I've sent some of these pieces over to like Double D when I've talked to him about stuff, because he was asking me about like just about like my project and everything, and I told him that we were working together, and I sent him over some pieces, and he was like, "Oh my gosh!" He's like, "I'm adding Ryan to my list of artists for the future."
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you doing that. I would love to collaborate with him. That would be just wonderful. So here we're getting into the NPCs. So this was my first headshot that I did, and it's actually we're not using it. So I guess that kind of goes back to the getting better with time and stuff like that. I'm not sure I was ever fully satisfied with this one. I wanted to give him like a thoughtful look, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It wasn't my favorite, I guess we'll see. Now, I don't think it's a bad piece. I just think that, I don't know.
I liked it. Do you already have the new one fired up already?
Replacement? Yeah, I've got that one. Let's just right here.
So for everybody who's watching, this is the difference. Like he had already went through. What was it? You already did you did 26 of these, and then you did this 27th one to replace that one because you weren't satisfied with it.
Well, it was actually like I went through, and I kind of got mixed up, because I was like, I thought, oh, I need to do one for this guy, and then I realized, oh wait, after I drew this, I realized, oh, I've already done these. And then so I was like, oh, okay, so I guess I've got an alternate for the first guy, and I think you just liked him better. So
well, you just sent it to me, and you said this is the replacement, and I was like, okay. I was like, that's fine, it works for me, because he's still a paladin. So I was like, that works. So there we go.
Do you have a preference?
Oh, you're fine. No, I like the new version. Now I do like this. I do like this piece. Now I figured we could use him, further down the line or whatnot. Sure. But I mean, I do like both those pieces. But I will agree that the newest one, it does read very, very well that I'm a paladin and I'm here to handle out judgment.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't really want to mess with that guy.
Actually, let me pull that stuff up here. I got the other stuff opened up. because I can't remember what that fellow's two personality traits that I gave him.
I got my printout here.
Oh yeah. I was just going to pull it up, but go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So it says that this is Sir Erhard Engel, so
Yep.
which means angel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Personality: brave and suspicious.
Yeah, there you go. You got it. You
Yeah.
got it. Especially that look. That's suspicious, right there.
Yeah.
I doubt that you just. I have a feeling you just lied to me.
Yeah. That's right. So the next one, she's her name is Felina Lightfinger,
Mhm.
and she's a thief, and her personality is dishonest and friendly. So with this one, I wanted her to look, attractive, but I wanted to also give her the sense that maybe you can't trust her.
Right.
So that's the smirk, you know what I mean?
Yep.
She's just kind of the way she's kind of looking at you a little bit sly.
Mm-hmm.
It was what I was hoping to kind of get for. So she's friendly, like, she'll she might even flirt or whatever, but she's can't trust her.
Now, just to let you know that that is actually this character's this pre-gen character's last name is a nod to B1.
Oh,
because in their pre-gens, in the thief section, there is a Lightfinger as well. Leuven Lightfinger is his name.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's his daughter, right?
Right. or if you take it to Tom, it's probably his granddaughter.
Yeah.
So
now, speaking of daughters, you said your daughter liked this one.
Oh yeah, she really liked that one. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear. Yeah, because
which I was going to say, which makes sense because her first character was a magic user, and then since she has leaned in towards with the thieves. So it's like I was like, okay, so that makes sense. She's like, oh, I like this character. I'm like, okay, there you go. I didn't even tell her what her class was, but
she could just tell. I like the look of it.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Kids, what do you think?
I think she looks so cool. I don't know why. She kind of reminds me of Mom a little bit.
Oh yeah. Okay.
She looks like the kind of person to say, "I'm going to pay for dinner," and then she pays for dinner, but she actually uses the money she stole from your wallet.
There you go.
Nice.
What did you think about the Sir Erhard Engel one?
He was so cool. I really liked the original design, but the second design, I feel like it fit more in Paladin, like in the suspicious Paladin.
Good.
Now the second design can twirl his mustache a little easier.
Yeah.
True.
Twirl it in thought.
Awesome. Well, let's look at this. This guy is really ugly. I realized that I wasn't drawing him to be handsome. I was drawing him to fit the brief I was given. So This is Brother Aldrich Arkin.
Mm-hmm.
He's a monk, and his personality is he's careless and friendly. So I wanted to kind of put a little bit of like a little bit of an oafish look to him, kind of he might be a little bit clueless about just how useful he might be.
Yeah, with that kind of haircut, you'd have to be a little careless.
I mean, yeah, he does. That's the whole Eastern Orthodox, that kind of monk kind of look. You know what I mean? So it's just that our Western is what I meant instead of Eastern. But yeah, I love the fact that, you know, Greg actually put monks in here this way instead of like going towards the east. I mean, this is great. And like you said, yeah, I mean, you got it spot on with like, yeah, I might not look, you know, that dangerous, but I probably am.
Yeah. Yeah, like you wouldn't want to mess with them, you know?
Right.
Like,
Right.
yeah. All right. Well, so that one, and then this one I like quite a bit. This is Belsamra or Belle Blackstar. She's a human magic user. And her personality is she's cautious and suspicious. So what I did with her was like I elevated the chin, right?
Mm-hmm.
And had her looking down with, you know, eyes that were narrowed, right? Because she's not quite buying your story, right? She's looking at you and she's not buying it, kind of thing, you know. Or she's kind of has this maybe this air of you know, just jadedness, right?
Yeah. I will tell you this. Did anybody pick up on her name?
Belsamra, Belle Black.
Belsamra.
Belsamra.
So I took a little little nod from the basic expert, John. That is the name of a sleeping drug.
Oh, I did not know that.
and if you notice, one of her spells that she happens to have is sleep. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, I wanted. I that's good. I wanted this one. I wanted her to be beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to like there had to be like an air of like you can't like not friendliness, right?
Right.
Beautiful, but like a coldness, a distance, right? So that's what I did. All right, so this is Krieger Gearhart.
Mm-hmm.
He's brave and friendly. So I kind of put on like a, you know, like a determined face on him, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and he might not look especially friendly at the moment, but like, you know, if you can kind of.
Are you still there?
The friendliness there, you know, this is the kind of guy that you would want to have your back.
You froze for a second.
Yeah, you did, because I was asking if you were still there. No, I was just going to say, yeah, it's the beard. That's the friendliness. That's
yeah. People with beards are automatically nice.
it's like you got the idea. It's like, oh, I won't cross this guy, but he's probably a good guy. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, no, I kind of like that, and of course he has like you know, I put in a few interesting things like the shoulder belt. He's got a hood, a chainmail hood that he's not wearing at the moment, kind of thing. All right, let's take a look at.
And I have to check it, but I'm pretty sure that when I came up with this guy's name, that it actually means brave guard.
Oh, okay.
Or brave soldier, because it's like Krieger. I'd have to look again, but I'm pretty sure that that's what it is in Deutsch.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, and these names, so they're almost all of them are German, almost, right?
Yeah, I have a tendency to do that. So
yeah,
the next one's one of my favorites when it comes to like I said, like a little nod to, you know, there's a little funniness in it, but yet there's not. I mean, because when you look at these names, it's like you wouldn't really pick that up, but if you actually knew, then it'd be like, oh, okay, I see what they were going with, you know, for here. So
let's see. I might have it out of. Okay, so this is Sister Veruca Sauls. So I know exactly what that comes from. Willy Wonka. Veruca.
Yep. And then the last name Sauls. That's Saul.
Yeah.
Yep. and then the fact that she's a cleric to a god, the cleric of Bormanus, which in Greg's Northern Reaches, it is a god of earth and salt.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
So if you actually look like on the holy symbol there, remember we're talking about that, it's actually like the symbol for the earth symbol combined with the alchemical symbol for salt.
Oh,
It would have been comedic gold if her holy symbol was like a goose or something.
Nice.
Or like whatever animal she tries to grab before she falls into the hole and is like never seen again.
So this one, I drew her, and she did not have an amulet on around her neck, and I just gave her like the sun heraldry, I guess, on her tunic, and Travis said, "Hey, can we change that to this symbol?" And I said, "Okay, well, if we did a big symbol, probably wouldn't show well because of the size." So I said, "How about if we do like a necklace or something like that?" And so that's what we ended up landing on. And that way you can kind of tell, you can see what it is, and
Yeah, I love it. It's so cool.
Yep.
Now she's supposed to be courteous and nosy. So you just imagine her getting in your business, I guess. But not in a mean way.
Right.
All right. Now the next one, I think you have a a lot of affinity for this one.
I love Jim Belushi, man. This is great.
It kind of looks like Josh.
Looks like who?
Josh.
Like Josh? Oh, okay. Well, so this guy, he's a halfling, right? So, and he's the town.
He's about as tall as I am.
He's the town drunk, and his notable feature is mutton chop sideburns. So I just went and I sketched this guy out, and I was like, yeah, okay. So he's looking up, right? Because he's short, right? And I gave him a little bit of a pudge, and I wanted him to look disheveled because he's a drunkard, right? And so I did that, and by the end of it, I had this, and so I sent it over, and Travis is like, "Oh, I love this. He looks like John Belushi."
John. Yeah, John Belushi. Yeah.
And then once you see it, you kind of can't unsee it, I guess. So
yeah, I just keep thinking Animal House. Every time I see this, I think Animal House, where like it's like, why is the beer all gone?
So John Belushi, you guys, he was a comedian that was on Saturday Night Live back in the day, like before I was young, or before I was watching Saturday Night Live. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he's one of the torchbearers that you have as an option. And
yeah, that's right. So he's this guy. He carries your stuff through the dungeon or holds your torches, whatever. Yeah.
But I was just going to say all these pre-gens, and now that we're in the torchbearers and porters, that these are all in the Bearer of the Unbroken King.
Right. Yeah, that's right. So all the NPCs and stuff that we've been looking at, and the monsters though
will be in full metal. Will be in full metal
tilt. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. So this isn't the only celebrity lookalike that we have in the roster. So I drew. There's a guy. His name's Otto Freudenberger.
Yeah.
Freudenberger, and he's a rope maker, and he's honest and lazy. And so I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So I kind of drew this guy out, and tell me who you think he looks like. Can you place him?
Is that? Oh, what was it? Christopher Lee?
No. It's not another Saturday Night Live guy. Doesn't he look like Nicolas Cage to you? Nicolas Cage?
Gone in 60 seconds.
Yeah, that's right.
I feel like my skull's on fire.
Yeah, Ghost Rider. Yeah, so like I just kind of want, all right, yeah, I'll do some guy with like, he's got just some strands on top and looks rather simple and whatever. And then but like by the time I was done, he just looked like Nicolas Cage. So take that for what it's worth. But I think that like I'm not the only one who thought that like right off the bat. I think one of your viewers was like, "Hey, it's Nick Cage." So
Yeah.
wasn't intentional, just happened that way.
Yeah,
Like when I was done, you kind of stand back and look at it, and then it's just how it looks, I guess. So.
Exactly.
I didn't know who it was at first, so I searched up a picture, and he looks exactly like him.
I'm gonna play in a movie where I'm a secretary guy and I pretend to be a vampire.
So we got some more torchbearers, and these guys, I had a lot of fun with the torchbearers because you could make them look kind of like, ooh, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And that was the point. And so it was fun to do that. It was fun to kind of like, make them look a little bit silly or off, or, just kind of like, here's a case in point. So this is Simon Lutz. And he's a farmer, and you can see he's like a simple guy, and you can kind of just imagine him as not quite all there,
Right.
but, yeah. So he's a farmer, he fidgets, he's helpful but wasteful, so he's got the best intentions, but he's just not the brightest, maybe. So
Is he like
maybe he's a little hasty. We'll say that because I think his intelligence was 10, so he's not dumb.
I mean, he did have decent stats because his wisdom's at 17.
Oh wow!
is he like when I was in that level 0 one shot at that Mythicon, I think it was, and I named the character Rodney, and all he can say is his first name.
This looks like
Rodney. That's just like all he's saying is he's like plowing the field. Sorry, man.
Must be a very wise word.
Shy man.
Yeah, well, if you get it,
just because he's wise,
one-on-one, I'm sure he's got all kinds of wisdom he could impart to you because he's close to the land and everything and all that, but like he's not much to look at, I guess.
Right.
Awesome. So now I wanted to also lean into like the peasant look, right? Because these are torchbearers and things like that. So I have a couple of examples of that. So you kind of got the stupid peasant hat thing that they would wear.
The skull cap.
Yeah. This is the Felix Schumacher, which is, Deutsch for shoemaker, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct. Yep.
And he's a serf. That's his background. So he wears the hat that like religiously, right? The serf hat, the skull cap, and honest to a fault, notable feature. And he's brave but rude. So you can kind of
his societal class screams "surf up, dude," but his appearance screams "all I wanted was you."
I think you can all like just kind of envision an English accent coming out of his mouth, like. So,
I'm a little depressed.
But yeah, but not the refined English accent. It's going to be the Northern England one, So, but yeah, no, anyway, so I thought, yeah, I was having fun with these guys, like these peasant type guys. I thought they were, fun to draw.
We're getting closer and closer to my wife's favorite that you guys did, or that you did.
So another peasant guy. This guy's Robert Wickler, a gravedigger, hates goblins. He's prankish. He's wasteful, right? So.
Yeah, he hates lookalikes, I guess.
What's that?
He hates lookalikes, I guess.
Because
Why?
he looks like a goblin is what. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Took me a while to clue into that. Yeah, he's got some distinctive features, and I love throwing in distinctive features for these peasant folks. You know what I mean? Because it's like you almost can't break the picture,
Right.
because like with the hero, there's certain rules, like you've got to have a right jawline, and they have to have a powerful looking visage, but like with these guys, like you can do all kinds of stuff, and it's like it's just character.
Right.
So
these are the ancillary characters around the hero, right?
yeah, that's right. Yeah. These guys just carry your stuff. So here's a men-at-arms section here. So of course in Dragon Slayer there's Cyclopsmen, and it's kind of like they're not a giant, but they are on average tall, right? And they just have the one eye. So this one, his name's Dilwag Dill Dimstone. And he's a mason. He speaks in the third person, and he's cautious. He's cheerful. So, yeah, and he's got ring mail. So there's that too.
well, I will say this. I mean, based off of the details that Greg gives you about them, and how like jokes with them are like literal, that they they don't really get it. So I mean he personifies like what I imagine a Cyclops man to be. So
that's good.
Does he like pickles?
Maybe. I don't know.
Why?
Well, his nickname's Dill.
Oh, okay, yeah. There you go. That's why they call him that. He's always eating pickles, right? Next guy. So this is a dwarf.
This is my wife's favorite that you did.
Oh, okay. Barden Battlebeard. A dwarf mercenary with a broken nose. He's cautious and rude. So I don't know. I just thought it'd be fun to have the shield up there and everything.
Oh yeah.
Just threw that in there. And then of course the broken nose is hopefully obvious. So.
Very obvious.
And now
he's got a brave face. He's putting on a brave face nonetheless. So
now everything smells funny to him.
Yeah. So what was it that your wife liked about this one, Travis?
She liked the way that you drew him. Just the style and everything. She said out of all the ones, she says, I think this is one of, out of these, was my favorite and best piece that she thought that you did.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, it's always interesting to see what people like and don't like and why. So this is
my favorite.
Ah. Tumwick Badger Pebble Pick, a gnome.
Mm-hmm.
He's a former soldier. He has a prodigious mustache, as you can see. And he's friendly and helpful. So now I was trying to take a cue from the Dragon Slayer rule book about the large noses on these things, because Ken and James, who is like an expert at drawing, he did like the races in the book and in the little lineup there with all the different races, and they had a very prominent nose, and it was great.
Yeah,
he did a great job.
In my mind's eye, that's the feature for the gnome, is the nose. So, and I do, and the other thing is, and I like that you took where I put down that where he was a formal soldier and that they refer to themselves as the tall helms, and that's what you did is you gave him a tall helm, and I was like, yes, this is how I imagined the Badger, Tumwick Pebblepick the Badger, ex-soldier to look like.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad I hit the mark on that one. We got another guy, long flowing hair, Wilhelm Schutzenegger.
Yeah, Schutzenegger. Yep.
He kind of looks like how I imagine Tarzan sometimes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like Tarzan when he becomes a fancy man.
Yeah. Kind of like a Fabio kind of look, huh?
Well, I did have down that he had long flowing hair, and you got it.
Yeah, that's right. He's a farrier, so that's someone who does horseshoes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's long flowing hair is the notable feature. So I wanted it to be flowing, I wanted it to like look like it was like wind brushing it, like that, like maybe something you'd see on like a romance novel kind of thing. Mm-hmm. He's nosy and cheerful. So what do you think, Abigail? Is he attractive?
Maybe
a little bit.
I like him.
Do you like him? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like his last name. It's a little funny.
It is.
Right on. So that one was good. And then this next one is an angry elf. It's an angry elf. This is Fendril Fernglade. He's a bounty hunter. His face habitually looks angry. So I was trying to, capture that. He's also helpful and kind.
With the fact that he's got the resting, angry face. So.
Yeah.
Of course, my daughter would say something else, but abbreviate it. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this one, he almost looks like Ellen DeGeneres a little bit.
He looks like her. Ellen DeGeneres.
Except he's kind of like the opposite of Ellen. Instead of appearing nice on the inside and being horrible on the instead of appearing nice on the outside and being horrible on the inside, he appears horrible on the outside, but he's actually nice on the inside.
Right.
It's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah. So he's got, I guess, even though he's angry, he's got a bit of a youthful appearance as an elf.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about maybe putting more lines on his face, but I'm not sure if that might detract from the elfiness too much. But
I think he's perfect.
Yeah, I think you did a good job with him.
Good. All right, so
I know you like doing this one when you told me.
Yeah, I couldn't stop chuckling from when I was drawing this guy because, like, listen to this. So this is Alfred Hofbauer. He's a human. He's a cheesemaker. His notable feature: he grinds his teeth all the time. So I drew him like that, where he's like really aggressively grinding his teeth.
He looks like
just like every time I would just look at it, just start chuckling.
I watched Dad draw this, and he was in the living room, and the whole time he was just as he was drawing, and he just stopped and like pretend to grind his teeth for a minute and then go back.
Yeah,
he looks like he'd like keep like a giant wheel of cheese and just call it Big Cheese, and he just like have it in display, but no one's allowed to touch it.
Tell Josh what he has in his inventory.
He's got a backpack, a set of bone dice, and a wheel of Munster cheese.
Josh called it.
This is the Big Cheese. You're not allowed to touch it.
How did he call that? Like, right?
That's so specific.
That's crazy.
I got it with a bear trap, Abby.
He just looks like a guy that has cheese, I guess.
I got it with the bear trap.
Yeah, he's just he's got the cheese. You can tell it's just in his face, right? But yeah, no, I think of all the headshot ones, like all the busts that I did. This was the most enjoyable, probably because of like I automatically, after reading the brief on it, I was like, I had this image of him in my mind, and I was able to put him down really well onto paper. So, did you like him, Travis?
Oh yeah. It cracked me up when I saw the teeth grinding and everything. It's like, yes.
That's good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I love all these bust pieces of every single one that we had did together and everything. That's why I'm looking forward to when I get the other set, for the dwarven one, since it's going to be more dwarven centric. So
yes,
it'll be interesting to see how that one comes out.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. So this is a half work. This is the only half work in the lot.
A half work? Dad, that's so racist.
Yeah. It's not allowed anymore, right? His name's Mudmog Pig Iron, which is a great name. He's a poacher. He's got a pockmarked face, which I was, trying to, trying to show in there. I think I got it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely tell that he's had problems with his face.
Yeah.
Especially with the dermatology. Just all,
yes,
yeah,
yes, yeah. Acne runs pretty bad in my family. It skipped me, so I never really got acne scars. Like I had moderate acne as a kid, but nothing terrible. But I had some siblings that had horrible cysts and stuff like that, and they have scarring and stuff. It's
me and Josh had it.
So it's like I know this world, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I know the blemished face,
oh yeah, it's like my family and everything, and we have like really greasy face.
Yep.
I mean, I still to this day, like if I have like a pizza or something of that nature, like it just automatically, like I feel like there's like a layer on my face. I'm like, I have to wash my face. I
Yes.
I can't stand it. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. To this day, my face is it's definitely oily. Yeah.
I'm gonna say, Mudmog looks like the kind of guy who would purposefully walk into the women's bathroom and then pretend it was an accident.
He's got a menacing look, and a detail here on him. I gave him, how like pigs have coarse hair, that's what I had in mind for his hair. Like this is like coarse pig hair, and so that's what I did for that guy.
Well, I'm glad that you gave him the upturned nose, because in my book all the orcs are pig orcs. So
yeah.
Yeah,
I love pig faced orcs.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, it's so fun. All right, so this is William Wood. He's a half elf, so I made the ears a little still pointy, but a little less prominent, right? Because you notice on those elves they had pretty massive ears. So, and he's a woodsman. He has an honest face. So you let me know if I hit the mark on the honest face thing.
He's got a face that you could trust.
Yeah, I think so. And he's courteous and forgiving. What do you think, kids?
I like him.
You trust him?
I would hire him.
Yeah.
As a retainer.
Good. That's good. Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for. I was wanting to go for like a face that's like, that could. Yeah.
I feel like I trust him for the small things, but I wouldn't tell him everything just in case he might be a little too honest with another person.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair point.
He looks like the kind of guy who who like go like, oh yeah, and we're gonna go do this, that, and this and that. You know,
Yeah, spill the beans for the
Spill-
plans. Party's
he looks like
plans.
the kind of guy to accidentally leak classified information on a Minecraft server. I don't know.
Well, I wasn't quite going for that. I was going for someone that like, you know, was capable, but you know, kind of centered morally. You know what I mean? Someone
Yeah,
that
I
you
think
could,
Josh
like,
is just teasing you.
kind of trust.
I'm just making jokes.
Like within, you know, someone that had like a strong integrity. You know, that's what I was going for. All right, let's take a look at Aldrich Aludwood.
Aldwood.
Aldwood. Okay,
He
he's a
kind
guide.
of looks like a person on the cover of a romance novel, like a Frank Frazetta guy from L.J. Smith books.
He's got the hair. He's got the hair.
Yeah.
He's got the good hair.
Is he good?
If you guys are fans of Stranger Things, he's got the Harrington hair.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was about to say that. I can't believe they added Steve Harrington to D&D.
Yeah.
His background is guide, so there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And piercing blue eyes.
Yeah. There you go. Piercing blue eyes.
Yeah,
No.
a bunch of if the
Is-
tech talkers would ever see him, they'd put him in a bunch of gay romances with another male character that he barely interacted with. But it's cool because they're on TikTok.
Right.
What?
Exactly.
Now, is this guy, Abigail, is this guy dating material?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I would think my daughter would say the same thing. It's not. It's the hair. That's the hair.
It's the hair.
Yeah.
If you got a haircut,
She would say it's like the what is it from Tangled? What's his name? Flynn Rider kind of.
yeah.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, and he's kind of got a strong jaw, things like
Mhm.
that, you know. He's an Everwinter elf, so this feeds right into the Everwinter wood, which we're going to talk about, like the locations and stuff a little bit, because we're going to show some of the art involved with that.
Yep.
In fact, we're getting close to locations. So next NPC, this guy's like a town guard. His name's Isaac Hammerschmidt. And he has a hook nose. So hopefully I did that
You did.
well. Yeah. And he's cautious and nosy. So I put a spear in there. I just thought that, okay, I want this guy to look like he's standing guard, you know? And so that really is like a prop, you know, to kind of like bring the whole thing together, you know?
Yeah, I like this character. He's especially with the fact that you added the spear. I did like that.
He may be a little nosy, but with that hook nose of his, it'll be hard to stick in anyone's business.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and then I gave him that, you know, the thin mustache. I don't know, something about him just seemed like, you know, it fit. So, all righty.
So now we're to the henchman, right?
Just about. We've got. I don't think Bronwyn's a henchman.
Yeah, she's a henchman.
Oh, is she? Oh, okay. Whoops, sorry, I was reading the page wrong then. So, yeah, Bronwyn Briarshade is a druid.
Yep.
Okay, so I kind of tried to give her like this outdoorsy look, right? She's crazy and rude. So I thought, okay, as soon as I read that, I was like, okay, she's on the crazy hot scale for sure. So I knew I had to make her attractive.
I mean, we don't have what was it comeliness or whatever that was, you know, added like later on. But
Yeah.
I mean, her charisma is 16. So yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and she's rude, but she's the type that would get away with it. You know what I mean? because of the way she looks, and you know.
Yeah, she's a druid of Herne the Hunter.
Awesome. So I kind of went with like a dark curly hair.
Yes, I love her hair. It's so pretty.
Kind of reminds me of a Sigourney Weaver from the Alien movie.
Yeah, I was going to say that she's kind of
Really?
got that look, and that's kind of like it's almost like an '80s look if you think about if that being like a headband or whatever. Like I'm working out
Yeah.
or whatnot.
Yeah,
like
workout.
the-
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
She's gonna like hold up the peace sign, go peace and love before like kicking someone's shins in.
No, wrong era, buddy. We're thinking the 80s. You're thinking the 60s. Yeah. Aerobics workout that in the 80s. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't really there then, so
Yeah, no,
I
that's
get
okay.
it wrong.
All right, next henchman, we've got Joran Ashtree. He's a ranger. He's helpful but nosy. Thoughts on this guy?
I like him. He looks so cool.
Yeah, he's got pretty cool looking gear and stuff like that.
He looks like you if you were in a D&D world and you
Oh,
still
really?
had long hair.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I looked at him and I just thought he kind of reminds me of John Wick.
John Wick. Cool.
Yeah,
That
I like this piece where you put the arrows and everything in the background. Like you said, like you can tell that we have now changed over to the henchmen, and the pre-gens, how there's a difference between the styles of the others that we just went through. So
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there has to be a distinct difference there because like the torchbearers can't look like they're a fighter, really, right? And the the fighters, they can't look like they're some peasant, right?
right.
It has to be visually, visual difference
Yeah,
there.
just like you said, we just went from like the torchbearers and the porters to like now we went up to like the men at arms, and then now we're at the henchmen who could be like if your pre-gen had died, you had these as backups that you could use, or or it might be like you had like another buddy that showed up and like, oh, well, you can play this guy, or
That's
this
right.
guy. So,
That's right. Yeah. Cool. All right. So there's that, and then we've got Bellix Night Blossom,
Mm-hmm.
an assassin. She's dishonest and suspicious. So,
He
just
looks really cool.
yeah. So, like when I read assassin, I thought, okay, well, she's got to be hooded, and if I can obscure part of her face to give her this aura of mystery, then that's going to go a long way,
You did real well at making a femme fatale.
Oh,
Now all
good.
she needs is a crystal ball and a smoke machine.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I was pretty pleased with this one.
I like this one a lot too.
Thought I hit the mark on the assassin. We got a couple more headshots here. So this one, she is Fiona Fairhaven. She's a fighter. She's helpful and trusting. So this one, she she's I wanted to give her this sense of like capable, but I also wanted and strong, but I also wanted to, I give her this sense of like all American type girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love her so much. She's so pretty. I think she might be one of my favorites.
I immediately looked at her and thought, classic She-Ra.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I love the classic She-Ra. She's the best one.
Nice.
So I was going to let you know. So when I used these henchmen a couple months ago when I was running the Whispers of the Second Deep, the other adventure
Mhm.
In the Kickstarter. That so Jorn yeah, Jorn was hired. And no, it was because I used the Gerhardt as
Okay.
As also like a henchman. So they had hired Gerhardt, and they also hired Fiona. Fiona
Okay.
never made it. She never made it out.
Aw,
Yeah.
sad.
She That's what I thought too. I was like, yeah, they were like, oh, we're trying to rescue him, and I was just, and they just, it just did not go her way. It just not
Oh,
get her way. It was, she was ended by constructs, by dwarven animated statues. So,
Oh, that's too bad. We lost a retainer. Who was it? Josh said, "Oh, she was our hottest retainer." And like, she was
Lattice, right?
Lattice, yeah. And she was a blondie too. And yeah, she didn't make it. Killed in the hallways in the cave of the unknown. So
I remember that because I've watched all that to this point now. So yep.
Good. That's awesome. Josh, is she dateable? Is she? Man. She's, yeah. I mean, I think she's nice looking.
I like her.
Right. Okay, so
I think we had our last one there.
Yeah, that's right. And this isn't Grizzly Adams, it's Ulrich Wolfscar.
That's exactly what I thought when I first saw this. I thought, man, that looks like Grizzly Adams or Jeremiah Johnson.
Yeah, Jeremiah Johnson. Yeah.
He looks like a guy from the Appalachians, like one of the ones that live in the mountains. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He looks like one of those dudes from that TV show Mountain Monsters. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
A bunch of hillbillies would run around the forest with like fully automatic weapons and video cameras looking for like cryptids.
No.
And it aired on cable, and it was definitely something.
So he's courteous, he's modest, he's a human barbarian. So but he has chainmail. So I wanted to like cover the chainmail with like furs and stuff like that because I wanted him to be recognizable as a barbarian, So that's what I was going for there.
You
did a good job.
Yeah, and then of course the long beard, is barbarian-esque, I guess. Long hair.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now we're done with headshots, I think. So, oh no, we're not.
Now, you surprised me with this, and I really appreciate that. So, I mean, yeah, you did capture, especially that one hoodie that I have, and that the one picture that I have is the author section and everything.
Yeah, I thought that'd be a fun thing for you. So
yeah, I appreciate that. It cracked me up when I got that whole packet and I saw that and I was like, oh, this is hilarious. I showed my wife. She's like, oh, that's awesome.
You could like put it under your picture on the author page.
I have been thinking about that. That has I've been thinking about where to use that.
Yeah. I for church one time, we had some kind of party for our congregation, and I can't remember what the occasion was, but anyway, I was doing caricatures for people. And I thought I was just going to be set up in the corner and people would be like, coming by and, oh, yeah, I'll do up your caricature. Here you go. But no, the bishop wanted me to do it in front of everybody live. And so so I had to like, okay, do like a quick thing. And I had a marker as well. So I'd do a quick pencil and then I'd like get the marker and then here's your caricature. So, yeah, good. So that's fun. All right. So what do we have here, Travis?
Well, we have the three hags that are in the hex that I was referring to when I was talking about the bearer of the unbroken king, where the town, the little thorp that you can adventure from, that you could actually run into these hags, or you can go find their location where they're at and everything. Now you caught me off guard because I don't have my notes with their names on it. I have to look at my phone here real
that's
quick when I
okay.
talk to you. If you remember, that would be great. But I do remember that. Hold on, I'll find it here. Hold on, I'm gonna scroll back here where we were talking about them.
Yeah, I remember their personalities because I tried to draw them very specific to what you told me about them. So we have the greedy one. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I just got to where we were talking about them because we did. There's the house. All right, here we go. So we have Skinny, Marion, Marble Cobbler. She always wants to make a trade, and she likes to stay glamored as well. This won't pay in this case and everything, and yeah, she's always looking to make a trade. So that's the one that's on the left there in my mind.
Yeah.
And then we have Crazy Lorraine. So we had Marion and Lorraine. So we have Crazy Lorraine, Marble Cobbler. I have down that she is crazy and to never be crossed, and she is the leader of the coven, and how she likes to be glamored, and she always dresses in green. So that would be the one on the right. I'm correct. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we have Lonely Judy Marble Cobbler. Judy lusts after any male character who has a 13 or more in any stat.
Super desperate.
If it's strength, she'll talk about how strong that they look, and if it's intelligence, she'll talk about how smart they are, etc. And she is and she likes to be glamored as a shorter lady, about 5'3". So and she has and they all have, since they're all green, they're all green hags. Marion, she likes to, when she's glamored, even though she glamors herself as a very almost sickly looking thin woman, she always has like green hair. And then Lorraine, she always glamors herself as like a grandmother like image, and she always has a green dress. And then we have Judy, who she glamors herself as a 5'3", redheaded, curvy lady, but she always has green eyes. So I kind of like played with that, not keeping them all the same, that they all had a little different,
some element of green.
Yeah, of green.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this one because it's not often that I do women that I'm not concerned about making them beautiful, right?
Right. Or these hags, so yeah.
yeah. So I got to really get to play with them, and hit upon just the right mix for each one, and using the descriptions as a guide, I was really able to get a mental image of what these ladies needed to look like, and so yeah, I think I got this.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
you got it down right.
I sent this one to Greg Gillespie, and I said to him, "Hey, the one in the middle. I hope you don't mind. I gave her your phone number. She's very interested." Because I told a little bit about the backstory on these witches, right? So he got the joke, and yeah, he laughed. So. So I like that one. That was a good one. That was fun. All right. So tell us about this one, Travis.
Okay. So this is the one of the it's actually a hidden barrow that's in the 5 Mile Hex, and that your adventurers could come upon. It's actually kind of like enclosed in a valley. And the way that you did this was great because like on the back side, you wouldn't necessarily like notice that there's actually like a barrow here. You would see the standing stones. But this is known as the Barrow of the Slayer. It is a barrow for some of a barbarian tribe. and that's why you have the hawk symbol that's right there on the cover stone of the barrow. Now I am going to create a story for our little fellow that's out here. But as of right now, there is a barrow underneath here, which your characters can go and explore in the Barrow of the Unbroken King. That has nothing to do with the Barrow of the Unbroken King, but it's just it's in the area to where, like I said, like there is kind of like I looked at this as like Keep on the Borderlands, where you have like your little terrain, your little hex crawl that you can have outside of, in this case, a Thorpe instead of like the keep, and that there's these little points of interest that you may find. And this one's a hidden point of interest that the characters can find and can explore and actually go through the dungeon that's here.
Cool.
Or two, in a sense.
Yeah, and with this, I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll put like a dead guy here, and so I wanted to clear it with you first before I went ahead and did that, because I didn't want to like change the story somehow. You know what I mean? Because it's important that you don't have the artist driving the story. Right?
No.
So,
I liked it because now I was like, okay, well now this is going to add to it. Well, a lot of this that we have in the Barrow of the Unbroken King is like, or any of my stuff is actually in my own campaign setting. So I don't write anything that I don't actually use. So I make sure that, because the stuff that I write is stuff that I would want to play. So in this, I know that there's a cover stone on this one, which is what I asked you to do and put on here. But currently in my campaign, that's broken open. They've been exploring it some. They haven't went far enough yet, but they have. My characters have.
Yep.
That the people that's been playing, and then I'm like, okay, well now since we have a cover stone here, we get to add this for the backers that are going to receive this illustration, as well as the dungeon that's going to be in this hex, and then they're going to get a little backstory about or at least some details of what's on this skeleton that's out front here.
Yeah, so it looks like he's got a broken sword and a severed shield arm, so that's not in a good way.
No, it did not end well for him.
Yeah. And it doesn't look like he's got a lot of, his equipment doesn't look like it's in good shape. But
right.
All right, let's take a look at the next location. So tell us about this one.
Yeah, so this is the Rhine crystal. So this is, as you can see, off to the left, there is the Everwinter Woods. And this Rhine crystal is to represent that a little bit of like, kind of like the curse that's on the forest and everything that is kind of actually, protruding into this whole other little grass plains like area that transitions between the forest, the conifer forest to the rest of the realm, in a sense, or the northern reaches. But these Rhine crystals is something that the Everwinter elves use to make weapons or armor or whatnot. But it does have kind of like a cold essence to it. And so this would be something that if the players come up to and do find that the crystals on the outskirt would be easier to obtain, that they could use for trade or whatnot. But if they got too close, they're going to get bit, by the coldness of that cluster of crystals there.
Okay, it's like suffer some cold damage from it.
Yeah, and because like I asked you to kind of like show like there is some like permafrost and everything like out from there, and then and the way that I've also wrote these elves is that they still have the touch of like being closer to the Twilight realm of fairy and whatnot, that they don't like to be around like iron or steel. And so like a lot of their equipment and stuff would be like alferium, which would be like a different, would be an alloy that's not, with any type of iron or ferrous material in it.
Okay.
And thus crystal weapons are also, which kind of makes them a little unique. That's what I was kind of going for, is that they could have like crystal weapons. They could also still have the blades and armor that's made out of these these different alloys, which actually even goes back to AD&D. Like if you actually go in your your DM guide, you can find that underneath heat metal they talk about how that doesn't work on elven chain. It's because there's no iron in it, because it's actually should be heat iron is what they should have been calling it, and that's what they said because of that it's a non-ferrous material. So, and I thought that was interesting, which kind of like played into the whole thing about like being hurt by iron, kind of like Fae, like warding things off and that type of stuff. So that's what I'm playing with these Everwinter elves, which I put in the Bearer of the Unbroken King as an additional like race subtype that you could have. So.
Right. We already actually have one of them in our campaign, which you might have noticed if you're up to date. Yeah. So Zach Amortius has imposed on our party. Yeah.
Because I was like watching it, and I could hear my wife. She goes, "What voice is he doing?" Because I know what that is. I said it reminds me of The Godfather. Like he's like making a deal or whatever with the kids. It's like it's like, I'm gonna give you an offer you can't refuse.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
I'm getting mighty tired. Do you mind if I turn in tonight?
Yeah, sure. You can bow out, buddy. No problem. Abigail, are you gonna go too, sweetie?
No, I think I'll stick around for a little bit.
No, he's
just lame.
She's a night owl, and I'm training myself not to be.
Fair enough, buddy. That's fine. Thanks for joining.
Well, good seeing you again, Josh.
Oh, I guess he didn't hear you.
No, it's okay.
So some things about this piece. If drawing snow, there's certain rules you have to follow, right? So in order for it to resemble snow in any way, you cannot put too much detail on it. So what I wanted was a contrast between the snowy or frosty from the grassy. So the grassy simply had more scratchiness, more detail on it, and everywhere where you see there should be snow, it was simply just a blanket of white. So you can see that here in the tree line of the Everwinter forest. You can see where the grass ends and the snow begins, right? So hopefully that comes through, and for the person looking at it.
Right.
Also, there's some tricks you use with, making a coniferous tree look like it has snow on it. And I'm still experimenting with techniques and learning my way through that.
From a distance, that looks pretty good to me. I mean, I feel like that there's snow on those branches.
Well, that's good. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm glad for that. And I think I did a pretty good job on that part right here. Another technique I did, these were like puffy clouds, so like lots of like circular shapes with curved lines and things like that. I've done these puffy clouds in more than one piece that I've done for you. But also, like, I texturized the sky. And the reason I did that was I didn't want too much, like, just blank empty space, So that's just a little bit of a technique to almost give, like, just a sense that maybe the sky is, like, a different shade or, that sort of a thing from, like, what the clouds are, like that. So those were some of the technique choices that I made in this piece here.
Yeah, I like this piece a lot. I like how you did the crystals and everything, particularly the one at the tippy top there. I like how it has like a little bit the wear and tear. So
Yeah. Yeah, and like the thing is, like, I was looking at pictures of crystals, right? Because I wanted to like get it right, you know. So I look at real world examples for a lot of things that I draw quite often, and I noticed that like there was, you know, a lot of irregularities in crystals, but very straight lines, you know. So I wanted to, you know, wanted that to come across and make it look like it, you know, you had these like sharp edges and things like that, but sometimes, you know, like you can tell like it's like rounded, but you can tell that there's a sharpness to it, you know what I mean, on the edge. You know, that sort of thing. So yeah, anyway, so that was an interesting one. All right, the fairy circle.
Yeah.
So back with the red caps.
Love this one.
Oh yeah, this is great. Hey, Ryan did a really good job on this. So with the fairy circle, you have these purple mushrooms, and the hags are gardeners, and it's kind of like in a little secret grove. So I like how you had them like where guy told you that the red caps are there, but they're not necessarily like hiding very well. they're gardeners. And that there's also these other mushrooms that are there, and they have grown out of the red caps that have been previously killed in passing, and so these red caps have kind of like grown out of the mushroom, and so
or the mushrooms grown out of the red cap, I guess.
Well, the red cap, right? Well, the dead red cap, the mushroom is growing out of it, but these other two, as you see, like there's 2 by 2 by 2. Well, that's how the red caps have repopulated. Those are actually, they spawn from mushrooms themselves.
Got it. Yeah.
So
okay.
So that's like kind of like how the hats and everything, how you got it like almost like a mushroom, you know, with the pointed cap kind of thing. But anyway, so the whole premise of this is that this fairy ring actually links into the barrow, the mounds of the fairy kings, which is the whole area that the all these other barrows are at, which includes the barrow of the unbroken king's barrow, and that the hags are trying to protect it to make sure that nothing from the other side that's going on there with all the issues comes through to this side, out here in the little plains area that's outside of the forest. But you know, you can, if you negotiate with them, there is a chance that they may give you the rhyme that will allow you to use that, but at the cost of a drop of blood on one of these mushrooms, so thus they can make more red caps.
Yeah, this one, I wanted to give the sense that we were looking down on it, you know, just as like a different perspective, because I was like, how do I represent this fairy ring in a way that it's going to look, you know, like a fairy ring, you know? And so I thought, well, okay, maybe like a bird's eye view top down. And so here we are, we're like kind of peering through leaves in the trees kind of thing. And we're seeing, you know, in this little clearing where there's some light, you know, this scene, you know, this bizarre scene. And I wanted to make these little red caps look like, you know, kind of like out of place almost, in like how like they're silly, like they're absurd, you know.
Right.
They're an absurdity, but you know, they have a definite, they feel like they have this definite purpose. And you know, and so here they are, they're like they're skulking, they're hiding all the time, and it's like, but they're not necessarily very effective at the hiding, right? But like,
right.
But as absurd as they are vicious, you know. So I
Mhm.
wanted to, you know, give this sense that they were menacing, you know, which I think I was able to accomplish.
Oh yeah.
I really like. Sorry.
I was going to say each one has a kind of a nose peculiar unto itself, you know, so none of them are quite exactly the same. Go ahead, Abigail.
I really like all the little details, like the noses all being different, the front hairs being like different styles. And I also really love how we're like peering through the trees, and in the corners you can see like the leaves.
Yeah,
That's really
thanks.
cool.
Yeah, thanks. That's what I was trying to give that that sense, you know. Good. All right, that's good. Let's take a look at the next one. All right, so Travis, tell us about this one.
So this is the Everwinter Trail, and the Everwinter elves have set up this little mushroom trail to lead. How they don't necessarily want visitors in their forest, but since their chieftain has, you know, through the story and everything, needs help because what has been stirred up in the mounds of the fairy kings is something that his people can't hold back by themselves. So he has reached out to you both adventurers and everything. They're very weary of humans. You would think that dwarves would be on that. That is, but more so the humans. And there's a part that will play out in due time. But the whole thing is that this trail has these blue mushrooms that leads into the forest. So this is kind of like where they want everybody to enter. The other factor that like people don't know about the trail is that it actually works as like a circle of protection. So like undead, you know, can't cross it, you know, that type of thing. Evil. That's why that they had done this. It's kind of like a road that kind of like protects you. You don't necessarily know this, but if you're on it and then, you know, something tried to attack you of that type of nature, it would become pretty obvious that they cannot enter the trail while you're, you know, traveling through the little hex crawl to the Everwinter Woods.
That's an interesting detail. I wasn't aware of that when I was doing the drawing, but I did. I don't know if you ever noticed, Travis, but I did a little bit of some skulkers.
Mm-hmm. I saw that.
Yeah, taking a look at you as you're going by.
Yeah, it's and that's why like I'm excited about this piece because I wanted to use you know, this one as like the kind of like the here is the illustration section will start right here, you know.
Yeah,
Part of it. Yep.
Intro to the illustration
Yeah,
section.
and I liked how you made the example that these mushrooms are glowing. So, and that's the other thing is that even at night, that these would kind of like, you know, guide you in if you wanted to travel at night, even though people, you know, don't know that it is, like I said, like a circle of protection in a sense, or, you know.
Yeah, so it was a challenge because like I was like, how do I in black and white draw something that's glows faintly, you know? So I came up with this, you know, where I would just kind of do like an emanating glow from each mushroom. And also I gave them a very light shadow. So if you take a look here, you see like the bodies and the rocks have a dark shadow.
Mm-hmm.
But each of these glowing mushrooms actually they have a very hatchy kind of shadow, and that's because they have this light glowing, and so it kind of gives the appearance of like a lightness to the object. And so that was the method choice there. And there's just a lot going on in this picture.
Oh
actually.
yeah. This is I love this piece because this is, I think that when we first started this part of the project, this was like the first one, I believe, that we did.
Yeah, that's right. I think,
about.
yeah, and I think this one was actually a mistake, because like I think I misinterpreted what you were wanting, and then I said, hey, I guess I showed it to you as like, is this what you're looking for? And it's like, well, I kind of want. Well, do you want this one? And you're like, yeah, I want it. So okay, well, I'll finish it.
Yeah. Well, what it was is that like I just, when we were talking about it, I just wanted like to give people, since we're kind of like doing the illustration thing, like this is what the trail looks like, with like nothing, like not like not giving any idea of what's going on. You know what I mean? And then when you showed this to me, I was like, no, I want this because I want, just like I said, I want this to be like, now we were entering in the illustration section. This is it. This is the where we're transitioning, and now you'll have all of the, this is illustration 1, illustration 2, so forth and so on, which will connect to the details in the module. And then and then you did do the one that I wanted, would be like, hey, this is just what the trail would look like, and these are what kind of like the mushrooms would look like, but I love this piece. I mean, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, it's like this wasn't what what I was picturing, but I was like, but this is excellent, because this is great to use as a, kind of like telling the story of like, traveling, to the Everwinter Woods. So.
I think I like it for the same reason, like because the party of adventurers in there. I think a player or a DM can look at this and be like, oh, that's what we're doing, that's our party, or a party just like us, and we're headed on this trail.
Well, like I told you, it reminded me of B1 as well. Where I sent you that picture. It's like, it's in the back, where the retainers and everything is. And it's not like an image that's supposed to be anything. It just shows like a party, like walking towards the woods. And there's like almost like a brownie family or whatever. Like the dad's like smoking out on this little limb porch or whatever. And there's like a knight in the background and a castle. But they're still adventuring. Like they're walking out into the woods. But that's what this reminded me of, is like that type of
setting out on adventure.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to capture, like setting out on adventure.
You did it.
Yeah. Kind of whimsical feel to it,
And I'll be honest, Ryan, I didn't know that you had the little, skulkers out there in the shadows until you pointed that out.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's great. That's great that that's there, and that, it's a little, like you said, it's just kind of like a little hidden piece that somebody could be like, oh, look at this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you stare at it long enough, then
right,
you're going to see something.
You start seeing more. Yeah.
And that's what I was hoping for. I was debating, like, should I tell him about this, or should I just wait like till the years down the road he's going to look, hey, I just noticed.
Yeah, that would have happened. Because I would have stared at this, especially like when doing layout and everything. I would have stared at this like long enough and then been like, wait a minute,
So another detail that I think is worthy of pointing out is the trees, the difference in the trees. So you can see that what we have over on the left-hand side here is normal forest. And then here we have some snowfall on this forest. So this is basically the border of the Everwinter Wood. And it's showing you a contrast between like, normal, and then all of a sudden this enchanted winter situation. All right. Well, that was a fun one. It was an investment, to get, because there was a lot of stuff going on in here, and but I think it was well worth it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. This is a fantastic piece that you did.
Now, I thought it was interesting enough that I wanted to do some experimentation with it. So I don't usually do color because, oh wait, I don't have the piece. Hold on. We'll show it later, I guess. This one's the I guess the one that you had asked for. Basically, it's like a zoomed in version
Right.
of what the piece that we were looking at before. This is when you come up to the entryway to the Everwinter Wood.
Yep. Yeah. So
Any
I mean,
thoughts
the
on
same thing. You've got you. Oh, I like how you did the woods. I could see where, and then you have like the steps. The footsteps. Like you're not the only one who's been out here.
Yeah, and I did the footsteps. It was a bit of a leap for me because I was like, is Travis going to be okay if I put footsteps in here? But I thought, if I put footsteps in the snow, it's going to make it a lot easier for a viewer to tell that, oh, that's snow. Whereas if it's just like whiteness, it might be a little harder to discern. So it was definitely like a technique choice to illustrate the snowiness. But yeah, I wanted also like it to look like, you could see far into the woods, but you've got the shadows going every which way, and also like the trees, what do you call it? The tree, gosh.
The trunks.
Yes. Sorry. There's my brain not working.
Yeah, no, it happens, man.
Yeah. the tree trunk, like, I wanted them to kind of have the, like, I just wanted to insert realism into it, so it felt like this really looks plausible. So.
Oh yeah, that just like the way that you've done like all the trees. It's not like they're all exactly in a row. You can kind of tell like some of them are not like straight up and down. I mean, it looks like you're going into a forest. I mean, it really does.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, you give the the illusion, because it is a drawing, that you can go deeper into it.
Yeah. All right, let's see what we got next. We've got tell us about this one.
Yeah, so this is where the Hag Coven is. This piece here, this is their little hut that they have, and you have like a ogre skull that's off there to the right, and there's like a hobgoblin skull. There's a set of wind chimes made of bones. There's the stag skull in the front, and there's the owlbear fur, and also the stump with the woodsman's axe in it, and the cauldron that I had that's boiling up there. These were the details. These are the details that I gave you. Now, not to give too much away, but a lot of this stuff is very interactive to you before you even see a hag. If they even get a chance to come out. I did like the touch of the black cat, because I'm a big fan of a black cat. So and we did it the Halloween style, so I love it. So
yeah, I thought it was a natural choice with the witches. I thought, what are they doing without a cat?
Right,
they're a bunch of witches, so I'd better do that. And then I also got this. These are some added details. Beheaded chicken, and a severed hand, and some eyeballs on the ground, and just some. Also, like the trees are creepy. Like
right.
I wanted to like give this sense of like. Kind of a yuckiness, a creepiness to it. So it wasn't like it wasn't your grandma's cabin, right?
Right.
And part of how I did that on the cabin itself is I made it rather irregular. So the windows are not straight, and you've got this like dirty rag hanging in the window for a window shade, and, like that kind of thing. And so just gives a foreboding sense as you approach it.
I thought this one was super cool. One of my favorite things was I loved the cauldron, but also the owl bear pelt. Katie would have died for that. She loves owl bears, and they're so cute. Having it hanging there is so cool.
Yeah. I started this one, I made the cabin kind of like a Tudor look, with the, I guess they would do like beams and then kind of like plastered
the half wood style.
Yeah. And but then I decided, you know what, that it's looking a little too I don't know, like homey, I guess. And I just wanted to, so I switched to just straight stone, not because it doesn't look, stone isn't homey or whatever, but it's just, I just wanted it to look less polished, like less like a cabin that was built with some taste, and more like just this hut kind of thing.
Right.
So all right, let's see. Okay. All right. So here's so with this, like I don't often do color, right? So this was like a step in the dark to me. And so I used very simple means to bring like color to this picture. And I just did it. I didn't discuss it with you beforehand. I just went ahead because I wanted to see what it would look like. Oh, yeah. And then when it was done, I said, "Oh, hey, if you want this, you can use it." But you wanted to try it,
Oh yeah. I will say about the out in the distance. I like how you've got the collar, from the sunlight and everything, playing on the snow. So I did appreciate that. I like that.
Yeah.
This one really impressed me because I walked in on him. I saw the drawing beforehand, and I'm like, "Oh, that's super cool." And then I walked in, and he was in his office, just like going on his mouse. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" I looked over at his computer screen, and he's coloring the whole thing in with his mouse. It was crazy, but it looks so good.
Yeah.
Very primitive technique. I didn't use any like actual watercolor or anything. I was just using the computer for the colors.
Mm-hmm.
That's as like high tech as I get with my process.
Right.
But a couple things to note here is like I was able to really bring out the glowiness in these mushrooms, right? So if you take a look, it really kind of has a sense of glowiness for two reasons. Number one, you see the splashes of white. The splashes of white are trick your eyes and make you think, oh, it's bright, right? It's glowing. Right. And also like where I did those like squiggle marks to represent the glow, the radiance, I just kind of like pseudo watercolored it over with like an aura of glowiness, right? And so that's the effect that I had there. And then you can see here, like I did like a base color for the pathway, but then I also highlighted it with some light colors along the way to kind of give it this sense of texturization and then with for instance the tunic on this fighter here, so he's got splashes of like an alternate color that's just is off from the base color, and that's where light might be hitting, kind of thing. And also on like his head, you see like
right
this is like just shows like a shine, a sheer to his metal armor. So that's some of the techniques I used here. And yeah, of course, when you're shading in snow, it gets pretty blue. So that was part of the technique that I used there. And yeah, I gave these.
Yeah, you did a good job coloring it in. You really did.
Gave these little creepers little red eyes, just faintly.
But it's so funny that now that again bringing up about the, like you said, the creepers that's out there. It is now that that kind of gives out that little ring of protection out there. It's kind of like it's almost like keeping them at bay.
Yeah. Yeah, all they can do is watch.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, that's that. All right. What's this one?
Okay, so this is actually in the very center of the hex. This is where a ritual had taken place, and I refer to it as like the Dark Earth ritual, because all of the area inside of that has been pretty much. Oh, have a good night, Frank. Has pretty much been like eat up with like necrotic energy. And then in the middle there, you kind of have like this pebble, which you kind of have it like out there, the stone, really, this like smooth, like pebble like stone. And you still have like the ritual markings and everything that's on this Dark Earth. And yeah, if a corpse was ever like laid in this, it would like rise again, that type of thing. And then around the circle is that you have these white flowers that grow, and I refer to them as widow's crown, and they're just a flower that I have just kind of like that I've kind of created that grows up near or around necrotic energy. So in this sense, it's kind of like, even though all the rest of the area has been dead, these flowers have just, sprouted up. So it's almost kind of like a warning for those who would know, kind of like giving a little foreshadowing there. And and it's a thing that the adventurers will have to play around with and find out what's going on there. I did like that, like how you did this at night with like the moon and everything. Kind of like, playing up on the whole thing. This place is dark, not necessarily, it's dark outside, but this place is also kind of like dark, altogether.
Yeah, I was kind of going for that. Like, this is a creepy place. It's, foreboding,
Right.
And so, yeah, so some of the things I did to kind of do that was skulls in the foreground here, kind of a menacing, foreboding sense. The trees with they look dead,
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and then of course like the moon beams and things like that. And of course, you said to add some sigils in here, so you've got this conspicuous one here. There's one here that's harder to make out. There's one up here as well. And this was a challenging one because you wanted like a really large dark earth and with like a small rock in the middle, right? And so I was like, how do I do that where I show it, So I this is what I came up with. I was like, okay, well, I'll do like a half circle, and then on the horizon you can see the rock, right? Like that. So that's what I did.
Yeah, and it kind of works out because like the circle is supposed to be like 160 feet, which is, like you said, it's a very large circle, and that it's perfect. It's a perfect circle. And that's where I had you, put in like the sigils and stuff, because it's supposed to elude that there was a ritual that was done here. So, and the fact that there's a reason why it's 160 feet. So, it's just there's a reasoning for everything. But like I was saying is that I like that, like how you can see like the pebble. It's kind of like, it makes those players want to go. I want to go out there and try to get that thing so much. Even though when they start playing around with it, they're gonna be like, I don't know if I want to go out there anymore. But yet there will still be some that'll be like, yeah, we're going to go out there. We're going to get it.
Yeah, this one's so cool to me. Like, it just looks so ominous. And you just wonder, like, what has happened here.
Right.
And it, like, I'd be so excited to play this.
Yeah. It looks pretty fun, huh? Like, there's, like, mystery involved in it. All right. Well, what about this one? This one looks a little brighter.
Yep. So this is the Sacred Hunting Grove. It's actually a little closer to the Everwinter Woods. And where's my notes on that? Hold on. There it is. Okay. And then I had like the picture I sent to you that I used like an AI to generate. So it's like it is a sacred hunting grove. So there is plenty of game and everything, which I believe I think that you did a good job of like, hey, I'm going to kind of like allude to that, and then also that there is this red fern that's there. So I kind of like did a little nod to where the red fern grows, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because when this was like randomly determined, like when I was, like I said, I'm creating things for my own campaign setting. That this came up, and I came up with the idea of like, oh yeah, I could have these, since it's kind of like a peaceful and tranquil area, but it's also sacred because there is, at night there is the spirit of a hound that lives in this grove, like a ghost, to where that fern has been planted.
Yeah, so with this one, I wanted it to feel peaceful, gentle. You know what I mean? And so I think the wildlife in the background helps with that, and also like the beam of sunlight through the trees. Of course, it kind of focuses you on the red fern, so that's not lost in all of the busyness of it. Otherwise, I think if I didn't make it a focal point like that, I think it would have been lost in the piece. And so it kind of gave me an opportunity to like, just kind of show this, like the sacredness of the space with the light coming through, and also, take that opportunity to focus in on the red fern.
Yeah. This is one of my all-time favorite pieces that we've collaborated like doing. This one I really like.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think it was pretty good. I think it was a good one. All right, let's see. Oh, is that the end?
Oh,
might have hit the end. Yeah, that was the end.
I was going to say that, like I just
have to draw more pictures.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say that I just got the the next set and everything, and I don't think that I think that is all the ones that we have currently like worked on and everything. So
yeah, that's the end of the line for now, but it's not everything, because I'm going to be doing new ones and stuff like that. So
because you're currently working on the next one, right? So there you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna get going on that one.
That's fine. I mean, no rush. That's just, I was just saying that I know there's more coming. So
yeah. And I certainly get excited about doing the next piece, because I love drawing, and I like being involved in this project, and being able to kind of bring your vision to life.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah. So anyway, that's me. I feel like I'm always getting them just a little bit better as I go.
You are.
And I got a fast turnaround, and I don't like charging people a lot. So, I do love, um, I love having my work published in somebody's work, because like I just love being able to point at it and be like, that's mine. I did that.
Right.
I like, my name is there with all these other talented people. That brings a real thrill to me. So,
Well, once this project is done, and I'm sure that the some people will be reaching out to you, to do things, for them. Like I said, I've been, telling people about your work and showing your work off, and that there's something that I have that I want to do, and we're gonna be talking about it, in due time.
Awesome.
So. That's after all this is said and done, though. This is all my focus. Like I said, if it comes up like April and I'm still like doing the fine little tuning that I need to do, and I can't do the Dragon Slayer dungeon design thing, hey, that's fine, because I'm doing what I want to get done. I want to get it all complete and out there before my actual date that I said, oh, well, I want to have till like June to make sure I get everything done. Well, if I want to get it out there sooner to everybody's hands to start, enjoying it, to the backers, and also the people who did miss out and who were probably interested in picking it up in the long run. So,
yeah. Awesome. Well, we hit the 3-hour mark. So that's, thanks you guys, everybody watching, or maybe someone going back over to watch this. We sure appreciate it. And hope that you enjoy what you saw, and hope that you, find Travis's project interesting, Full Metal Tilt. It also has, of course, as we've been discussing, additional modules, Barrow of the Unbroken King, and the other one was Whispers of the Second Deep. And the Kickstarter's now closed, Travis, but they should be able to, in due time, find this stuff on Drive-Thru RPG.
Yeah. Everything once. Everything will be, delivered to the backers, to where they'll get first stab at everything. They'll be able to download their, of course, they'll be able to see the copies of the PDFs up to, as it's being built and finished up. And then also they'll get their finished copies, which they'll be able to get from Drive-Thru. And then on top of that, they'll be able to do their prints through Drive-Thru as well. And then as soon as all that's, done with them, then it will be live for anybody else to be able to pick up. But if anybody's interested in just, looking at things at the far end, when everything first started, you can get the previews for the Barrow of the Unbroken King, a preview of Full Metal Tilt, which just is the basic rules with one jousting table. Like I said, in the end, there'll be 6. For both the backers and then future people who are interested in it. And then the Whispers of the Second Deep is also, there is the preview. And both of those previews were the original 3-page adventure that I had written for the Dragon Slayer Dungeon Design Contest 2024 and 2025, which I won both of those. Both of those are the adventures, and they it's just the original concept and everything, with a little bit of polishing on it, but for the most part, that's not the finished products. Those are, we're working on that together, right now, to get those out to the backers, and so that they can have, the more robust version that I imagine that I wanted people to have and to enjoy.
Awesome. Well, I'm sure humbled to be part of it. I'm hoping to make it a thrill and just exciting for everybody who has put their faith in your product and your skills and wanted to back your adventures. I just want to make it even more worthwhile for them. So I'm doing my part.
Well, I really appreciate that, Ryan. I really do. And like I said, we'll be doing more things together because, I really like your art, and you're great to work with. And anybody who's interested after I'm done with him, please reach out to Ryan, and have him help you with any of your projects.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Travis. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good night, Travis, and
Nice talking
we'll
to
talk
you.
to you soon.
Yeah, good talking to you too.
All right.
Both of you.
Take care.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
have a good night.
Bye.
Everybody else. Bye.